Okay. Yep. Normally it's Lavender, but it's me today. Oh, that's true, huh? Oh. Mhm. Mhm. Oh god, I'm so nervous again. No.
Yeah, it's Anore.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we can, or I can hear you. Oh. I don't have it up right now. Man, I'm nervous again. I don't know, I always get so nervous. I think about Char and I think like, man.
Just do this. Just make it simple for myself. That should actually make it work. Does that work? Yeah, no, I just switched where the sound is coming from. That's all I did. How was everybody's week?
That was pretty good. It was pretty busy because Halloween and everything, but besides that, it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Boring.
Boring.
Yeah, just a lot of schoolwork.
Like,
Yeah, I had
college schoolwork.
Yeah, college schoolwork.
Oh. Are you like
Halloween might be
mastering?
fun.
No, I'm still working for my major.
Me too. I'm set to graduate this year.
Lucky, I'm set to graduate in like a year or two.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
What's your major?
I'm going for social work.
Oh, that's interesting.
What are you going for?
I'm a history major, but I don't really know what I'm gonna do after.
I mean, you'll find out once you get to it.
Pull this up real quick.
So Tristan Allard. Oh.
Yep.
So maybe.
I actually had a lot of fun with the prep this week.
Whoa.
Mostly, like a lot of it was because I was bringing in 2 new people, but
Yeah.
I was able to create additional things that make it fun. So
I do have a question.
I have an answer.
For starting equipment, Should I just like leave my inventory blank, or what do you want me to do
You
with
can
that?
have what you can just like whatever you want to put on your equipment within reason. I am happy to let you
Of
have.
course. Okay, sounds good.
So obviously we're not doing a plus 13 to hit 1d like 5d 20 damage rolls. We're not doing that.
What? No. Damn.
Yeah, I know
No,
that's
I'm
so
joking.
overpowered for a level 2.
There goes that plan.
Yeah, I know. He
Alright.
foiled my plans.
What's up, Korak? How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay. Alright, so we can go ahead and get started, since I know Lavender will not be joining us. So I will be taking on Lavender's voice lines if there are any necessary voice lines. So let's just go ahead and get right into the recap. After you guys retreated from the ancient ruins, you stopped at a clearing to rest, and then you were ambushed by some spies that were sent by one of the high scribes. The spies were successful in killing Gareth and Aaron, and Char eventually interrogated one of the spies and extracted a name, Carwin Ewell, which is in the chat. With Gareth's dying breath, he encouraged the party to pursue the truth behind the ruins and avenge him. After an emotional exchange between Lavender and Char, they looted the bodies, where they found the evil talisman, is what you guys are calling it right now. And it turns out it belongs to a shadow movement called the... actually, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I did reveal that. Actually, no, I didn't. I'm not going to say that. So you guys laid the body to rest by knocking off some other skeletons and put them down where the skeletons were. You returned to the kingdom of Stone Call. You noticed that they're on your way back in. You noticed a Leonin commander. Going through the merchant's quarter, you noticed that you were being pursued. You tried to trap one of the spies that were following you. You missed your attempt to try to attack him, and Lavender broke a brick off of one of the buildings that you then named Aaron. So now you have a pet brick named Aaron. After this, you met with the Sarian, who was shocked that a high scribe was behind the attack. He doesn't show any knowledge of either of the talismans you guys have. He does express interest in the cylinder that you guys had retrieved from the ruins, and he promised to decipher it, and that it seems like a passphrase might be required to bypass the magic barrier at the ruins. You guys then left and spoke with Captain Dreth, where you discussed details, and the captain confirms that the medallion does belong to whatever evil organization is lurking in the shadows, and tells you to go out and check out a bookstore called the Veiled Page when you have a chance, because it might have some underground connections. After this, you guys decide to go to the Adventurers Guild and take on a short quest while you wait for Asarian to do his thing, and you meet up with Kikolas Nage, who is a seeker and purveyor of seemingly worthless artifacts. And after reviewing some of his historical finds, you guys decide to go out and attack a beehive with your new pet brick, Aaron. You are able to acquire the artifact that Kikolas was after, and you guys receive an amulet of almost luck as a reward from Kikolas. You then go to the tavern, eat dinner, and rest, and Geld promises to speak with you in the morning. So with that, you guys have had a long rest, and you are now, now it's morning, and you guys are able to interact with the tavern.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go down to the tavern and probably buy some breakfast.
Okay. So for a couple of silver, Lavender, Korak, and Char, you buy breakfast. I'm assuming Korak goes down there too.
Yes, of course.
All right. And then you see Calvin running around with food plates and everything, and there's pretty much nobody in the building except for Geld, and you guys and Calvin.
I guess I'll talk to Geld.
What can I do for you, lad?
You said we could talk in the morning.
Certainly, I did say that we could talk in the morning. What questions do you have for me?
I need any information or all information you have on the Mark of Gorusian.
On the Shadow of Gorusian?
Yes.
I don't know any organization by that name, lad, but I'm assuming you're talking about, and I'm guessing you show him the talisman.
Yeah.
And he looks at it and says, I've seen that lot in here. They are a evil bunch, from what I know. I am not at liberty to speak of some things. I did receive word from Guildmaster Bramblefoot that you ought to go over to the guild and speak with him. But if there's any other questions you have, like specific questions about the guild that I might be able to answer, I can try to answer as best I can without betraying the trust of others.
I guess it kind of goes against what you're saying, but if by any chance they happen to stop by here again, you should let us know.
Well, there's many folks in here that come by. They have infiltrated the ranks of the King's Guard. They've infiltrated the ranks of the military. They're all over.
And
even the scribes themselves have people in their ranks. I don't necessarily know all their names, but most of the people that I see that are affiliated with them they're lackeys, for lack of a better term.
do you have any names you can tell us?
Not a one. You might have more information than I do.
Oh, okay.
I know of some of their comings and goings. I know that sometimes they are vying for power over various artifacts. I've heard that there might be an attempt to acquire one here soon.
Oh. Well, thank you for the information. And I'm going to go back to the table and I'm going to tell Korak and Lavender everything that Geld told me.
And so the plot thickens, it seems.
Seems so. What do you think we should do?
Well, Lavender, listened in on the conversation, says, I think we should go to the guild because, he said we should go see Guildmaster Bramblefoot. Yeah, sorry, I don't have a good Lavender voice, but I'll just...
That's a great idea, Lavender.
I'll just go ahead and speak in her voice if there's ever a time that I need to reiterate something that's already been said. So, there you go.
That's a great idea, Miss Lavender.
Yes, it does seem.
She pulls out one of her flowers and starts munching on it, and then offers one to Calvin, and she gets an 11, which does not succeed, and Calvin respectfully declines to eat one of the flowers from the forest.
Oh, I guess we should head to the Adventurers Guild now that we're done with breakfast and everything.
Okay. So as you guys get up from the table and you venture out into the street, you see that there are people moving in with various goods for trade and heading off towards the merchants district. You see some people, you'll see carts filled with food or random ores or metals or just various things for trade. And go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, is there anything that looks like interesting or?
You might see a couple of maybe some abnormal gemstones or ores, but nothing particularly noteworthy that really stands out to you.
Okay.
No sort of abnormal ores or anything like that?
I mean, you can tell that they're from the Lockhorn Kingdom, right? Because considering your experience as an artificer from there, you notice that it's some of the gems and ores that your family has worked with a lot, and it's one of the main exports from Lockhorn. But it's more of a every now and then kind of export, not a consistent. Oh, we have a regular supply of this stuff.
Alright, that makes sense.
So you'll see a little bit of mithril, you'll see some magic iron, stuff like that, but not a whole lot of it. But it's mostly there for people to work with and use to forge things.
I didn't know it was like mithril and stuff. That's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, there's some
I guess we could. We can always look at it on our way back from the Adventurers Guild, I suppose.
Well, if you need any advice, I'm sure I can point out the really good stuff.
I will take that in mind.
And Lavender just continues eating her flower. Okay. So
yes.
As you guys cross over towards the Adventurers Guild and you enter into the doorway, you see two individuals that you haven't seen there before. One of them, and they've actually, I will let you guys introduce yourselves and describe yourselves. So you'll see a human paladin and a tiefling wizard standing there waiting.
I mean, who wants to go first to describe themselves?
So let's go ahead and do Tristan and then Anore.
Okay, sounds good.
Tristan, is your mic working? Yeah, well, I'm not hearing anything. Hey, Nora, how about you just go ahead and introduce yourself first while Tristan starts does some troubleshooting.
So standing there, you see a kind of light pinkish tiefling. Her hair is kind of short, bob length, also pink as well, and she wears a kind of beigeish, kind of very what's the word for it? Long sleeve top. It's very loose fitting, and it is tucked into a her hair and pants, which are a darkish kind of purple. And then at her side, you see a satchel.
Yeah, I can see that. Trouble with mine. Char and Korak, go ahead and just describe yourselves too, because they don't know what you look like either. Oh, there we go.
Ah, fabulous. Apologies for that. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. So I've sat next to my friend Anore, and I look like a traditional sort of paladin. I'm wearing a heavy chainmail, which kind of weighs me down and gives me this sort of posture of just like I carry the weight of the world on me, and I just look very, I don't know, haggard, very much like the world is beating me down. And so I'm sat next to my friend Anore, just having a drink and just thinking about life. I have sort of short brown hair, again sort of with wrinkles on my face, looking probably. I look older than I probably am, and I don't know. I have these gray robes that sort of cover this chainmail, but it's still sort of visible through these gray robes that I wear over my chainmail.
And then the party that you see walking in, Lavender, you can see is the tallest of the party. She's quite tall. She's 6'5". You can see that she's got some apricot-colored skin and hair, and she's got with lavender flowers growing out of her hair, and it's braided down to her knees. Her eyes are a light purple, and she's carrying a interesting-looking blade on her hilt. It's like a white blade, and it has like a moon signet on it. All right, let's do Char and Korak, and then
I'll go. You see a carmine red-skinned tiefling with golden eyes. He has kind of like a unkempt middle part, longish hair. And he's about 5'9", but he looks like decently somewhat underweight, and his facial expression seems to be very somber, with his eyes with bags forming underneath his eyes. Probably the most defining feature of him is how, in place of where there would be 2 horns for a tiefling, his are poorly cut and more jagged. And he's wearing a robe that has the phases of the moon on it over his chain shirt, I believe.
And then Korak.
I know you. I know I saw a thread before with an actual image for him. For me to go off of.
Yeah, no. If you want,
there it is.
Yeah, if you want to use that, that's fine.
I'm probably gonna make a hero forge for it later, but for now, a fairly muscular work with not actually very visible tusks, and with a fairly long but well-kept beard, who appears pretty muscular while wearing, I'm just gonna say leather armor, that might be different. Wearing scale mail.
All right. So as you guys enter the guild, you see this little halfling, midget halfling running around, and it's like, adventurers! It's good to see you again. It makes me very happy to see you. And he reaches up towards Lavender, and she reaches down and shakes his hand. It's like, wow, you're very tall. I'm so happy to see you. Adventurers, I have some great news. I believe I have a quest that I think would be fantastic for all of you to engage on and share together. I have been given a special quest by one of the noble ladies of the kingdom, that she desires a specific artifact that is going to be only accessible within the next couple of nights, and I need all of you to go out and retrieve it for me.
That sounds great. I mean, Miss Lavender wanted to get stronger, and that seems like a great opportunity.
And and he looks up.
It should be helpful. We all need strength for whatever's coming next.
And then he looks over at Lavender, and Lavender says, kind of nods and says that she's interested. And then he turns and looks over towards Tristan and Anore.
I sort of, I don't know, elbow Anore here, and we look over, half listening, sort of uninterested, overhearing a little bit about what's been going on. And I make eyes at Anore, and the eyes sort of signal to them that what do we think about this? Are we interested? Are we to go for this as well? Should we get up and join that group over there? See what's going on?
Anora kind of puts her hand to her chin, kind of tapping her jaw as they spoke. And she'd take like a few moments to respond before finally saying, well, it does seem intriguing. Why don't we get a little bit of more information?
And Guildmaster Bramblefoot says, certainly, I can provide that information for you. Follow me. And he, of course, runs over to the stairs and does this weird little hobble up the stairs. And you guys follow him into his specific office, and he stands up onto the table, and he pulls out the map leading towards where this cavern is rumored to be. And he starts giving you some details. Well, it is rumored that this particular cavern is only accessible once every century, and contained within this cavern lies what we know to be as the Heartstone. And while I personally don't know much about what the Heartstone can do, my contact is very desirous to get her hands on this specific artifact. And I believe, based off of some of our previous conversations and with what I know about all of you, is that you tend to be on the same side of certain factions within the city. Notably, you, Tristan.
You would be correct.
And he says, notably, you, Tristan, I know you have fought quite hard against the Thorn's Guard. And from what I understand, the Thorn's Guard is a related faction to this shadowy presence within the kingdom. So they might have their eyes on this as well.
Tristan's eyebrows raise, and he sort of his ears perk up, and as soon as the Thorn Guard is mentioned, he looks at Anore, and he looks back, and he sort of nods, and he becomes a lot more alive, and he goes, oh yes, I do, okay, and it makes a difference. What the halfling says here, it makes a difference to him.
Does Char notice that?
I don't think you're trying to hide that expression, are you, Tristan?
No.
So
no.
Yeah, so Char does notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Anore kind of looks to Tristan, and she just shrugs and then looks back to, what's their name again? The NPC?
Guildmaster Bramblefoot.
She looks to Guildmaster Bramblefoot, and she's like, what of its magical significance?
As far as I am aware, I believe it is used for specific healing potencies. I don't know many details beyond that. I'm sure that the lady that issued this quest might be able to answer your questions much more fully than I could, but I know that she is. I know that she's willing to make an audience with your party if it is acquired.
If
These-
it is acquired. She'd kind of mumble to herself and taps her chin thinking.
Chargos talks to Bramblefoot and says, would you happen to disclose who's the one that gave you this quest?
And he kind of turns and thinks, and he says, I will not lie to you. I do not wish to disclose this this good lady's name at this time. I was told to issue this quest to you, specifically by her, but she wishes to remain anonymous for the time being. It would make me happy to share the name with you. However, I am a man of my word.
I suppose we will. We don't really have any other options.
And Lavender just in the corner just kind of nods.
And how dangerous is it?
Well, it is. I am unsure, as this particular quest has probably not been known for a century at least. I don't necessarily know how dangerous it could be. However, I have full faith that if all five of you were to go, you would have no problems getting through it. It would make me very happy for you to come back.
And Tristan asks, what's the significance? Why hasn't this cavern been open for 100 years? Is something important happening now?
And he kind of, yes, that is a curious question indeed. I don't necessarily know the significance of this, but I know that according to various historical records, it has opened about once every century, and that what the resource contained inside is very rare as a result.
Would you disclose to us the location of this cavern?
Certainly, and he has the map, and he actually has the map right here, and he says it's right here in this at the north side of the ancient forest. And if you guys look on the map, the world map there, where you see the Smuggler's Respite, kind of up towards the top of that, where it goes into the gray area. That's about where he's located. He's pointing it out to be. So it's about a half a day's journey.
Oh, okay.
You can go.
Oh no, you can go. I was just gonna ask a question.
Oh, no, you go. I was gonna just do a response. So just go and I'll do it after.
Huh. Seeing as Char, Korak, and Lavender have gone into the ancient forest before, would we know if this air, like the part that this cavern is affected by the magic that affected us?
I think your characters can reasonably assume that you will be re-entering maybe a less corrupted version of, like, the side of it. You know that the closer you get, based off of your history, you know that the closer you get towards those ruins, the more potent that magical aspect affects the forest. But so you likely assume that it might be present, but you could probably also reasonably assume that it won't be as pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan looks over at Char and sort of asks and sort of looks at him and says, have you been in this area before? Do you think this is a wise decision for us?
It's a bit abnormal, but... And
We
there's
have a bad history.
Yeah.
This forest has some magical properties that kind of like sap away your strength. But beyond that, we lost a friend in that forest.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm so
Lavender
sorry
just
to hear
kind of
that.
like looks over at you and kind of nudges you with a brick.
And Aaron, we lost Aaron too.
And she
I'm
nods
so
and puts the
sorry to
brick
hear
back in
that.
her pack.
Yeah. But we have a job to do, and whether it's wise or not, it's how we get stronger.
What kind of fun is it without a little bit of danger?
I think I like you.
She shrugs a little bit and she stares back at is it Clovis, their name?
Korak.
Or Korak?
Korak,
Korak? Okay. She stares back at Korak and shrugs and responds with, I'll have to see if I like you.
Well,
Tristan is confused by this interaction and just watches on blankly.
if we know the location, perhaps we could talk more as we're on our way.
Why don't you lead the way? She kind of like gestures for them to lead.
And then Guildmaster Bramblefoot pipes up and says, "Well, I should let you know that the reported date for this cavern to appear will be within the next, not this evening, but tomorrow evening. So you do have some time to visit the merchant's court to stock up as you need."
Well, that sounds great. We were just looking to buy some things.
Well, excellent. I will trust that this quest rests within your very capable hands, and that makes me very happy.
Charles.
We're happy to assist.
Oh, before Char walks out the door, he turns back at Bramblefoot and says, I forgot to ask, but what's the reward for this?"
He says that will be given to you by the lady herself once you return.
Sounds
Better
great.
be a good enough reward for my time.
And mine also.
Trust me, it's a pretty good reward.
She shrugs. That'll be seen.
Okay.
Char's out the door.
So he's giving you the map, he's giving you directions, and you kind of have an idea where to go. And from here, you guys are in the street. You're a little bit of an odd sight at this point. You know, it's consisting of 4 non-humans and then Tristan. And as some guards walk by, you do notice that they kind of look at Tristan in an interesting manner, and then kind of just, scoff before continuing on.
Tristan looks back at them and questioningly just wonders why they scoffed at him.
I see you're kind of looked at the same way we're looked at here.
It's just, why can't we all just, get along? We're all working together here. What? There's guards. We're protecting other people. Tristan just gets a little, I don't know, gift by people scoffing at him. He just, yeah.
Charles is gonna gesture to Tristan and Anore and say, would you guys like to go to the merchant's quarter with us, or do you guys have another plan?
She looks to Tristan and oh, where are you gonna go?
Oh.
Anore looks to Tristan. She gestures toward them. Well, what do you think? Do we need anything there?
Well, we could do with, I don't know, more rations or something. Why don't we tag along, see where they get to?
Sounds great. I guess we'll take our way. But as we're walking towards the merchant's quarter, Char is going to hold back a little and like kind of walk next to Tristan. Tristan, was it?
Yes, that's me.
Bramblefoot spoke that you have a history with the Thorn Guard.
Those. Tristan sort of grits his teeth and just metaphorically spits on the ground, and he says, it's complicated. He wants to go into more detail, but he looks like he's it's difficult for him to get it out. It's complicated. He looks down at the ground as he keeps walking next to you.
And never mind.
Okay, so you're not okay. Just I was just trying to make sure that because they were going to be going to the merchant's quarter, but yeah, sorry to interrupt you guys.
Okay. I'm not gonna pry. I just want to know, does this Thorn Guard you speak of have any connection to the Shadow of Gorusian?
I think it could be possible. They're not good guys, and their leader is just awful. And
so Tristan would have some degree of knowledge regarding the Thorn Guard receiving some funding from Stonecall, but you're not sure where it's coming from.
So they do get their money. They have to. They're a mercenary that they destroy villages, and they have to get their money from somewhere. They've just ballooned into this mercenary from nothing, led by some awful man, awful commander. They just grown so quickly, and they have to be getting their money from somewhere. I don't know where, but I believe it's somewhere around here.
I can see that. We've more or less been targeted by someone higher up in this city.
That's not, honestly, that isn't shocking to hear, with the Thorn Guard just becoming so prevalent around here. I wonder if the people who've been targeting you are the same ones that have been funding the Thorn Guard.
I wonder too. Thank you for letting me know. It's hard to get information.
Of course. It's not something I like to talk about. They play on my conscience. They really grind my gears.
And you're against the Thorn Guard, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The history is strong there, and they don't listen, the reason. They don't act in good faith. They just cause destruction, and their leader is just the most vile, most chaotic criminal there is, and I despise him.
As they're walking, Char's going to stop and put his hand on Tristan's shoulder and kind of like hold them there and say, can we trust you?
Tristan holds Char's eye gaze and says, absolutely. I'm here to help. I'm here to alleviate pain and suffering.
And for the first time in a while, Char has like a light smile, and he says, good. I didn't want you guys to be the people I'd have to kill. And he walks a little ahead.
Right.
Tristan
Anore
walks
is
behind
walking.
and
Oh, sorry, so.
I don't know, Tristan walks behind and sort of chuckles to himself, thinking about what Char just said, and follows, intrigued.
Then Anore, did you have something?
Oh, Anora is just kind of walking behind the group, kind of more enamored with her book rather than anything else happening around her.
Right. And you do kind of notice that Lavender's kind of reading over your shoulder a little bit.
She kind of glares a little bit at Lavender and takes a mental note of it, but really doesn't mind at all.
She offers you a flower. Says, would you like to try this flower?
How tall is Lavender?
She's 6'5", so she's
6'5".
She's quite
Okay.
tall.
She looks up at Lavender and as she does, she puts the book like into her chest as she walks, and she stares at the flower, then back up at Lavender, and she says, is there anything important about it?
No, I just think they're rather tasty.
Tasty. I've never eaten a flower. What do they taste like?
Well, this specific one gives my mouth a little bit of numbness. It's a quite interesting experience.
That doesn't sound fun. She kind of like flicks her hand a little bit at Lavender. I'm sure the more flowers that you have, the more tasty they are. I'd have to decline.
She says, all right, suit yourself. And she like puts it back in her pack. She pulls out a different flower and starts munching on it.
She goes back to reading her book.
So as you guys enter the merchant's quarter, I have provided a little map for you guys to take a look at. But you see that you see the general shop that you have all been to before. You also see that a tent has been set up with a sign called "I can't believe you're not psychic divination," and then you see just a lot of the other similar shops that you've gone to before or have passed by before.
Let me look at them.
I guess just tell me,
Anore,
is there like a specific shop you're looking for?
I don't know, man. Sorry. I'm just looking at the map right now. I mean, you did say divination. So, I mean, Anore would kind of be a little bit intrigued and sort of walk off toward there.
Okay.
Char's probably going to check out the Arcane Arbitrage and Enchanter Emporium,
Okay.
and then go to the Veiled page after.
All right. And then so let's just go down the list of things that y'all are going to be doing. I'm just going to say Lavender's going to Pietra's Floral. That's all she's going to be doing. That's all she really cares about. So and she says as such, she's like, I'm just going to get some more flowers. So
Charnines.
okay. And then so Tristan, where would you like to go? And then Korak, where would you like to go? Let's start with Tristan and then Korak.
Tristan will probably want to go into one of the smithies.
Okay. Do you know which one specifically you're going to try to go to?
Perhaps Gertrude Blacksmithy.
All right. And then Korak, which one would you like to? Where would you like to go?
I think he's going to follow the person before. I
So you're
don't
gonna
know
follow-
the character.
Okay, so you're going to follow Tristan to Gertrude Blacksmith.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, let's go ahead and just let's start with Char. I'm gonna do Char, Korak, and Tristan. Then I'll do Anore last because I want because Anore's is gonna be a little bit longer than the rest of y'all. So, so Char, so you go towards the Arcane Arbitrage and Enchanter Emporium, and as you walk in, you see various enchanted pieces of equipment. You see various potions lining the walls, and the shopkeeper says, "Welcome. What can I do for you? I see that you are a bit of an adventurer. I could wager. What can I do for you?"
Before I put
Do you have any interesting magical items here?
Well, I guess that depends on what kind of magic items you are looking for.
I was hoping for maybe a cloak or such that would make it harder for the people of the city to notice me.
She says, interesting. Well, I can say for sure that something of that nature would be a bit more on the pricey side. Is it just that you're trying to hide the fact that you are a tiefling?
Yes.
Okay. So what you're asking for is like a cloak with a minor illusion enchantment, correct?
Yes.
Now, see, I don't have any of those in stock in particular, but if you are willing to purchase a cloak from one of the nearby shops, I would be happy to have it enchanted for you.
I'll keep that in mind.
I would recommend you go to Jumo's general shop and speak with him about picking up a cloak, and I would be happy to enchant it for you.
That sounds great. I'd also like to see some of the potions you have.
Well, of course. And what kind of potions do you have in mind? I have a wide variety.
Would you have any potions of invisibility?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking up. Yeah, it's not on my list. I have a whole shop thing set up, and I don't have the invisibility potion. How much does it cost? Yes, we do have a couple of invisibility potions available. They are quite a bit expensive, as you may understand, because of the rarity of it. I would be happy to sell one to you for 180 gold, or I can sell you two of them for 150 each.
How much would that enchantment on the cloak cost?
For the enchantment, I could probably do that for you for about 80 gold.
Oh, okay. I'll purchase one of the potions.
Okay. And I assume you will come back and deliver the cloak?
Yes.
Okay. So that will be 230 gold. So go ahead and remove 230 gold. The potion of invisibility allows you to be invisible for 1 hour.
Okay.
And anything you wear or carry is also invisible. The effect does end early if you attack or cast a spell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that sounds great. Okay. And I'm gonna head to the general store to go buy that cloak.
Okay, so you go buy this cloak. let's say the cloak. Let's say, let me actually get a legitimate cost for you here. So adventurer's shop. Let's see, adventuring gear. Clothes, traveler's clothes. It's going to be about 2 gold. So guys, I guess just.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'll bring it back to the enchanter.
All right. And I think that, and then you wanted to go to the Veiled page.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you enter the Veiled page, you notice that it's a fairly dusty-looking bookstore. The man at the counter is sitting back in his chair with his legs crossed over, reading a book, and he just has some like glasses with smallish rims, and he kind of looks up at you with a minor annoyance, and then goes back down to reading his book. The floor format is a lot more open, so it's you find the book and then you talk to him kind of a thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go straight to him, and I'm gonna pull his book down, and I'm gonna say, tell me everything you know of the Shadow of Gorusian.
And irritated that you are speaking to him, he's going to kind of wave you away and say, "Please, now, I don't wish to speak of such things. Are you going to buy something or not?"
How much for the information?
Roll a persuasion check.
God, please.
16 is a DC. All
18.
Right. And he gives it just a sigh, and he just kind of, he folds one of the corners of the book down and then smacks it shut. Well, I guess it would have to depend on how much gold you have, but I suppose I could answer some questions for, let's say, 50 gold.
I can settle for 10.
You're not a very good negotiator, are you?
Not a negotiator. I'm a killer.
Right. And you expect me to believe you? Why?
I'm going to extend my hand and about to start casting Firebolt at him. And I'm going to say, either I give you 10 gold for this information, or you end up like the people in that forest.
Now, you seem to think that I am of that particular community. And you also seem to think that you could actually hurt me. And he lifts his book up and kind of moves your hand to the side, completely unfazed by your threat.
How about we just come in the middle at 25?
How about this? I will give you some answers. I will answer 2 of your questions for 35 gold.
Okay, deal.
So he takes the gold from you. And he says, "Now, what would you like to know, young lad?"
Who runs the Shadow of Gorusian?
Well, from what I can, I don't know the exact number, the exact names, but I do know of some numbers. There is a council of 5, which I believe call themselves the Thorns of Velitra.
The Thorns of what?
Velitra.
Velitra. Okay.
Thorns of Velitra. There we go.
Okay. My second question. Where can I find the Shadow of Gorusian?
And he kind of just rests his head in his hands and says, "You silly boy, you don't get it, do you? You don't find them, they find you."
Yeah. Um, thank you for answering my questions. And Charles is gonna turn around and start heading out.
He just kind of like, you know, waves his hand, like telling you to kind of shoo off, and goes back to reading his book.
On the way out, can Char like steal a book and keep walking?
Do a deception check. I'm going to say the DC for that one is going to be 20.
Deception.
Because this guy is actually very perceptive.
Can it be sleight of hand?
Sure, do sleight of hand.
I'm a little better at that. Fuck. Okay, I'm not that better. I'm not that good at it.
And as you try to snatch a book, he goes, put it back.
Char puts it back.
Without even looking up from his book.
Char puts it back and heads out the door.
He waves his hand and the book kind of floats back to where it belongs. Okay. And then I'm assuming you go back to at this point you go to Jumo General Shop, and you guys have all mutually decided that that's where you're going to meet up. And so now we're going to go to Korak and Tristan. As you enter the Gertrude blacksmithy, you hear a cackling, almost like a witch's cackle. She's just and you hear her pounding on this metal, and you see random different colors of sparks flying off this anvil that she's hammering at, and you can tell she's somewhat a bit off of her rocker. And as you look around, you see these various magical artifacts, magical weapons and armor, strewn about in random ways around the shop. And you don't necessarily know what they do, but they look like they are very interesting. They're definitely very interesting to look at. And then she turns around and just snaps her head around, and you see her face is covered with all sorts of coal and soot. And just, welcome to my shop. What can I do for you today?
Oh yes, I was wondering what kind of battle axes you would have.
Well, you see, I got many different kinds of battle axes. I have some that explode. I have some that just, once you cut into something, it starts spraying water. I have some that exude ice. I have some that exude earth. And they are very fun to use.
Wait, hang on. Did I hear one that explodes?
Yes. There's one that explodes.
Okay.
Would you like a demonstration?
Preferably on something inorganic, but yes.
And you see that there's various testing dummies scattered throughout the shop. And she takes a battle axe and she just raises it over her head and hucks it at this training dummy, and it lands firmly into this into this dummy, and you see it explode apart in a wildfire explosion, and she just starts cackling. You see what it does? That's what that does.
And if it seems much more effective as a ranged weapon.
Well, I'm sure you could use it up close too, but I don't imagine your fingers would like it.
No, I don't. What about that Earth one?
Well, it's just like, oh, certainly, and she picks up a different axe, and she kind of swings it at a dummy that's close up next to her, and you see this rock just kind of shoot out back behind the dummy after she hits it.
Fascinating.
I've been known to. Someone has told me that this would be great for when you're dealing with multiple people. Like, you hit somebody, they shoot a rock out of them at somebody else, and there you go. It's very effective.
Interesting.
Tristan then asks, what do you have with fire?
With fire? Well, I suppose I could enchant any of these weapons with fire. Is there like a specific kind of fire you're looking for? Do you want blue fire, green fire, red fire, regular fire,
Yeah,
cold fire,
just a
hot fire, medium fire, fire that's really good at making popcorn?
Tristan sort of chuckles at the popcorn. He goes, "No, no, no. I think just perhaps a blue fire."
And she pulls out. Are you just looking for a regular sword then, or are you looking for an axe as well?
Perhaps yes, a long sword.
She pulls out this this long sword, and you can see that the blue flames are emanating off. And she takes the sheath and she shunts it onto the blade, and you see that the flames die out. And then she pulls it back out again. She says, "This one happens to be one of my more, shall I say, experimental ones. I don't necessarily know what it does. I just know that it has blue flames."
Wow. May I try that on one of the dummies?
And she hands it to you.
Thank you. Tristan walks over to within 6 feet of this practice dummy that already looks pretty banged up from the exploding axe that it's affected with.
It automatically repaired itself. All the dummies are enchanted to automatically repair.
Well, Tristan is amazed by that, and then he takes this sword and he swings it up over his head and he smashes it right down on top of this dummy. He sees what happens.
And you see that as it cuts through this dummy, it starts leaving these little pockets of flame that kind of just like ripple a little bit before popping with an extra bit of flame, extra bit of fire. Almost like a sparkler.
Tristan looks at the dummy and then back at the long sword with the blue flames and sparks. And he says to Gertrude here, "Wow, this is great. How much would this be?"
I could say that because it's experimental. I would be happy to sell it to you for 900 gold.
Jesus.
Oh, well, Tristan looks at it and goes, that seems a little out of my price range. And he places it back on the table, and he looks longingly at it.
And she kind of looks at you and like starts rubbing her hands. Well, what kind of a budget are you working with? Because maybe one of my two brothers has something that might fit your fancy a little bit better.
Oh, well, it's a very small budget at the moment. I don't have much I'm working with here, but you know what?
Like, give me an estimate. Like 20 gold, 30 gold? Or are you talking like a couple hundred?
Probably 20, 30. It's that sort of amount there.
I think you should go and see my brother Henry. He might be the one that would he would be best to hook you up with a good weapon that's much more reliable. Now see, Henry's great at the very basic stuff, and he makes a really good weapon very simply. Johnny's quite fun, but he's not as fun as me, if you catch my drift.
Oh, good to know. Tristan takes this under advisement, and he sort of thanks her, and he looks at Korak, and he says he just signals that he's ready whenever Korak is.
Alright, so for the Earth battleaxe, how much would it be?
That one would be 1,400.
Okay, change of question. What can you do in the 400 price range?
The 400 price range? I suppose I could give you some grenades.
Grenades?
Yes, grenades.
And what might these grenades do?
Well, I mean, are you familiar with grenades?
What would I roll?
Well, I guess roll a I don't know, history check. Hang on, let me look through here. Roll an intelligence check.
Ten.
You're somewhat familiar with the concept of a grenade. Like, you know that it's something you have, you throw it, it blows up.
And here I thought that kind of arcane tech was still isn't fully accessible to most people.
Well, I just tend to break a lot of the rules, so, you know.
Well, I can't say no to this kind of experimentation. Let's do it!
So she brings out. So so for 400, I'm happy to give you 4 grenades.
Let's go with 2.
All right. So she hands you 2 separate grenades. One of them is she holds out the 4 different grenades, and each are glowing with a different color. One is purple, one is blue, one is red, and one is green. It says, which 2 would you like?
What do they do?
Well, I imagine that the blue one does ice, the purple does lightning, and the red does fire, and the green one does earth. But who knows?
I'll take the blue and purple one.
All right. So she hands you the blue and purple one and says, "Be careful with these. You don't want to drop them."
I would guess not. Alright, I might be coming back to you later, but for now I believe that is all.
Alright, so that will deduct 200 gold from your inventory.
Oh, I only had 200.
You only had 200?
Wait. Literally have 243.
Okay, so you can probably... Okay. So, and she says, well, it's a pleasure been doing business with you. Go say hi to my brother Henry for me. And she waves, and then she goes back to her anvil and starts smacking the whatever weapon she was working on and begins cackling again. Okay. And then I'm assuming you guys go over to Henry Blacksmithy.
Yep.
Alright. So as you enter Henry Blacksmithy, you see a somewhat similar sight in that you see him hammering at whatever weapon he's got. You see that the atmosphere is a bit more dark, and it's a lot more of a kind of a rustic feel. It's very bare bones kind of a setup. You see a wooden counter where he does his transactions, and you see random bits of shield, armors, shields, weapons hung throughout. And he turns and he looks at you. Kind of grunts and puts his hammer down and dunks the sword he was working on in some water and walks over and says, "What can I do for you?"
Your sister recommended we come over here.
My sister is a bit of a nut job, if you ask me, but you know, she seems to make some good equipment. She's good at what she does.
Yes, she said you could recommend some more sturdy, more simple weapons to us.
That's pretty much what I'm known for. I'm known for making something simple very well. So what can I get for you?
What would you have in terms of a long sword?
Well, do you just need a simple longsword, or is there a specific kind of longsword you need, or if you just want a plain old longsword, I can get that for you. That's not a problem.
And what other variations do you have?
Well, if you need like a scimitar, I can do that. Great sword, maybe, but a regular longsword will probably be the cheapest option.
And And how much would a longsword go for?
I'd probably charge about 15 gold for that.
Interesting. Tristan thinks about it and he just goes quiet for a bit.
Hmm.
And for you, I recognize
What?
you. I recognize you. Your family. I know your family. You might not know me.
Rindars.
The Rindar. Yeah, your family is very well known. I respect the name.
Well, I have no plans on messing that up.
I sure hope not.
Hmm.
So what can I do for you,
So-
Mr. Rindar?
So tell me, what sort of simple enchantments would you have for
No, I
battleaxe?
don't do enchantments, son.
Alright. Simple battleaxe then.
If you need something enchanted, either you can go. Maybe Johnny will help you out, but the other option would be to go over to the Arcane Arbitrage. I heard they do enchantments over there on equipment. The other dangerous alternative, I guess, is to go see Gertrude. She's good at what she does, but she terrifies me a little bit.
I then say to Korak, maybe we should go try the arbitrage.
I'm more looking around for what's there. Let's just go with a relatively simple battleaxe then.
Alright. For battleaxe, just one.
Just one.
Alright. It'll be about 10 gold.
I pass over 10 gold.
Okay. And he goes over to the wall and he carefully looks at his battle axes and before he picks a specific one out and he sets it down on the counter. And you can see it's just a fairly plain battle axe with the leather wrapped around its handle. He says, "It's a pleasure doing business with you, son."
Likewise, I'll likely be back in town soon enough.
Alright. Then he looks over at Tristan. Are you wanting a long sword?
No, that's all right. I know where to find you. Thank you, though.
Alright. And he nods his head and he says, and he turns back and pulls the one sword back out and begins treating it as you guys leave. And then, are you guys trying to go anywhere else, or?
I think that's it for me.
Okay. So then you two go and meet up with Char back at Jumo's general shop. And now we are going over to Anore. And
Hello.
so as you enter in I can't believe you're not psychic divination. You see this small space of this blue tent has some elegant rugs. It has two large seats on each end of this wide tent, and at the back of the tent you see there's a drape in front of the room that's beyond there, which you imagine is where the readings are done. And you can see that there are some floating candles throughout the space. And then some ornate patterns are on the rugs beneath your feet, and you can see a couple of books and trinkets on some little coffee tables that are by the seats. And as you are standing there waiting, you notice that the back area opens up and you see a very elegantly dressed lady that seems, from your estimation, appears to be some sort of noble lady. And you see a tall, slender man sort of step out and says, I am glad that I could have been of service to you, madam. I do hope to see you again. and he kisses her hand and she kind of like does the whole cute little "Ah," and walks out and leaves. He says, "Ah, miss, I am glad that you have come to see me here. May I have your name, please?"
It is Anore, she says, as she watches the other man leave the
Yeah, it's a lady
building, I
that leaves,
guess.
a woman.
Oh, the lady, sorry. As she watches the lady leave, and she kind of she looks back at them and is like, what a curious interaction.
It's like, well, she happens to be one of my more common customers, if you might say that. But I'm quite fond of her. She is quite a lovely individual. But your name is Anore, correct?
Yes,
My name
it
is
is Anore.
My name is Louis Pasteur, and he gives a little bit of a bow and says, "Are you in need of a reading today?"
I would love a reading. She'd say as like she kind of like flicks her wrist, not like her wrist, but her like fingers kind of dramatically, and yeah.
So and then so he says, "Well, as is tradition for here, I don't know where else you have gone to, but I do expect payment up front, and then from there we can continue on." And he says that the cost will be 15 gold for a reading.
Was that 15 you said?
15 gold, yes.
She shrugs and she's like, well, and then starts looking around the area around her. I can do that. She nods, and from her satchel opens it up and pulls out 15 gold and kind of hands it to them.
All right. And he kind of pulls out a purse and pockets the gold and then repockets it again. He says, "Very well." And he offers his hand out to you, and then holds open the curtain towards where you would be sitting.
Okay. She goes right in and what does it look like inside? Just
So-
like
Yes, yeah. So inside I don't know specifically what the interior of that is called, but inside this small little divination room, you see that it is a much more darkened kind of atmosphere. You see that there are two very simple candles that are emanating some bluish light, I guess teal light, throughout
Okay.
the whole space. You see that there's a big crystal ball set within the center of this relatively small table, and there are two chairs, one on each end. And the floor is just of a plain red carpet. And you see on the other side of the fortune, the fortune teller's glass, there's a deck of cards. And he sees, he pulls the chair out for you and then goes and sits down on the other side and says, "Is there any specific, is there anything specific you would like me to try to divinate for you?"
Well, she before like sitting down, she kind of is like brushing her hand across the kind of fabric you said that kind of darkens the room itself, and glances toward them and she says, "I'm looking for someone in particular. However, I'm also curious about some things that I've been seeing."
All right. And he says, "Well, let us begin." And
She nods.
and he
and,
begins to take his tarot cards and he shuffles them around, and he begins to and he deals three of them directly in front of you and places the remainder of the cards behind his glass. And he says, please pick one card.
She like walks over and sits down, and picks a card from the deck, kind of like the middle section.
Okay. And he takes the two remaining cards and puts it back in the deck, and he instructs you to leave the card you have chosen face down. And
He hands it to me face down, or
no. So he placed. So on your side of the table, he placed 3 cards all face down. He said to pick one.
Okay.
And you pick the middle one. So he takes the other 2 cards, and he instructs you to leave the third one face down.
Okay.
And then he begins waving his hands around the crystal ball, and as he begins doing this, you can see some green smoke kind of filling the crystal ball, and he begins to speak, and you can tell that as he's speaking, his voice changes to be a little bit more ethereal, and it holds a little bit of an echo. And he says, I see a path, paved in shadows and lit by flames that flicker between worlds. You seek what is lost, a thread pulled loose from the tapestry of your life. But be warned, the deeper you go, the more shadows will cling to you. And as you're looking into this crystal ball, you see a couple of different visions. In the first one, you see a crown that's woven of blackened thorns, and you see some dark energy emanating off of it. And
You said a crown with thorns?
yes, woven of blackened thorns, and it has dark energy emanating off of it. And as from what you can perceive, it's almost as if you are in whatever this vision is, and you almost feel yourself reaching towards this crown. And as you're reaching, these thorns kind of shift, revealing various faces, and one of the ones you recognize, and the other is obscured by a shadow. The face that stands out, it's a woman with eyes of embers, and you can't tell what her expression is. Her intentions are very difficult to read. You can see that this crown is bound to her, and she holds something that you know that you are looking for. And then he says, those who wear crowns of thorns wield power, but each thorn brings pain. To seek your path, you must understand this. Your child lies entangled in their web, and freeing her may come at a cost you have not yet foreseen. And then you see this vision kind of empty, and you see his head kind of droop forward before coming back to life, and then some different colored smoke fills this crystal ball, and your vision changes again. You then see this in this vision of the crystal ball, you see a mirror that's cracked and shattered across a floor that's covered with darkness. And as you look into these various different shards, you see memories of your past, memories and moments you've shared with your daughter. And it seems like these memories are being distorted by time being flowing by, and by the magic that you wield. You sense that someone is holding these fragments and kind of twisting the nature of your memories. And he says, beware of those who shatter the truth and twist what you remember. Your journey will force you to confront the fragments of what once was. Only by piecing them together can you discover who your daughter has become and who might stand in your way. And then you see, as he finishes saying the sentence, you see that he drops his head again and then comes back up, and now a red smoke begins filling this crystal ball. And as he's speaking, you can hear a bit more of a demonic tone to his voice. And this vision that you're now seeing, it's a river that appears in this vision. And it's glowing with a certain ethereal light to it. And the waters are flecked with random silver ripples, and you see what you can only imagine as magical whispers emanating off this thing. And you recognize this as like a river of silver, a place where power and knowledge are kind of flowing together. And as you follow the river down in your vision, you see shadows waiting along its banks, watching you. And he begins to speak again in this more demonic tone. A path winds through water and stone, leading to knowledge both ancient and hidden. You are drawn to it, but know this, the river does not care who it consumes. Those who seek to harness its power may find themselves changed, for better or for worse. And then you hear his voice become much more quiet. Almost imperceptible, but you can hear what he says. Your journey will be one of fragments and thorns, of truths hidden in shadows. If you are to find what was taken, you must hold fast to who you are, lest the shadows steal that too. And then after he says this, you can see that the smoke kind of retreats down into the crystal ball. You see his head kind of drop forward before he lifts his head up again, and you can see that he's kind of come to himself. And he motions to the card that you have drawn. And as you turn it over, you see that this card, and on the artwork on the card, is a dark forest with thick and twisted vines and thorny brambles that have this pathway running through them. And towards, in the direction of where the path is going, you see a small little lantern. And he says, the Thorned Veil, this card, represents a journey marked with obstacles, hidden truths, and deep sacrifices. It's a card that is meant that you are seeking after something, venturing through a darkness. It seems you are going to be required to sacrifice something in pursuit of whatever it is you're pursuing, whether it's knowledge or, I guess, your daughter. But take solace in the fact that there is a light helping you through the shadows. There's figures watching from darkness that are seeking to find you and to corrupt you.
And who is this person helping?
Well, that was not revealed to me.
She huffs, kind of crossing her arms. That is a lot to take in. And kind of brings up her hand to kind of twirl her hair in her around her finger. And so tell me, is there anything you can tell me about what exactly Can you tell me if I am to lose my daughter? Or, I don't know. Sorry. I am tired. Anyways. If I am to find this person, I am to sacrifice more than I think.
I suppose only fate will tell.
She lets out another huff. I suppose so.
The future is not necessarily given in its entirety. However, what I can tell is that you may have been touched by one of the lesser gods. You seem to be gifted in some ways.
You would call this gifted? she had kind of like gestured to herself, kind of opening her hands as she did so, losing everything and having to go seek what I need or the person that means more than what I first thought it did.
There's something to be gained from losing everything. Even the Phoenix, the legend of the Phoenix, I am sure you've heard of it, but in death, it is reborn and becomes even more powerful. So perhaps this is your crucible for becoming what you must become.
It is quite... I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the word.
Vexing?
Vexing. Yeah, there. That's the word I was thinking. And you say touched by a god. Is there any sort of idea what sort of god it is?
From what I can tell, this particular god dabbles in dreams. I don't necessarily know of them myself, but perhaps you might find more information on your journeys.
I see. And the vision that was a silvery river, could this represent this god, perhaps?
Perhaps. Maybe it could be... Oh, I guess forgive me. What do you do? What do you do to survive?
Anything. If it means betraying those that I once trusted, then I'll do so.
Well, I've seen this particular vision before with some of the mages, and it seems to me that this river of silver might be the weave itself. The source of all magic.
I see. Well, I guess that's all I can learn for now, until my travels take me where I need to go. So I thank you. She kind of reaches out her hand, not dramatically, but elegantly, kind of holding it forward for like a handshake.
All right. It's very well, and he stands up and he takes your hand in his and kind of leads you to the doorway and holds open the curtain for you to travel through. It was a pleasure to meet you, Anore. I hope you come see me again.
It was a pleasure as well, and I don't know if you said, but what was your name?
My name is Louis Pasteur.
How do you spell Pasteur?
Like Louis,
Okay.
and then yeah.
Okay. Let me put that down.
Yeah, no, I kind of came up with that name like on the fly, and I just happened to name the guy that's responsible for the creation of vaccines. You know.
Okay. She taps him on his chest, and she as she begins to walk away, looks back over her shoulder and says, "I have a feeling we'll be seeing each other again."
I look forward to it. And he gives a bow as you leave.
Okay.
All right. And then you go and you rejoin the party at Jumo's general shop. And,
Awesome.
As Lavender returns, she has acquired more flowers and has suggested, suggested. I think we might eventually, if time might permit, we should go check out the taxidermy shop. I heard they have smoothies there.
If we find the time, Miss Lavender.
Movies.
Yeah, if you look at the map on the left side, right in the middle.
Oh, I see it. She's like, Why would a taxidermy shop have smoothies in it?
And she just kind of shrugs and says, oh, I don't know, but,
Interesting.
She
So-
shakes her head and just shrugs.
And the shopkeeper of the Jumo's General Shop kind of looks at y'all and says, well, are y'all gonna buy anything or just gonna stand here?
Shit.
How about
They-
you give us some time, okay? Instead of just being all nosy. Let us have our moment.
And the hot shopkeeper kind of huffs and
do I know when my cloak will finish enchanting?
they told you it would take a couple of days.
A couple of days, okay.
You'll have to go. Once you come back from the dungeon, you'll have it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take that exactly that much time.
So did everyone find what they need?
Anore shrugs and she's like, as much as I can learn, that is.
Lavender kind of nudges you, and says, "I saw you go into the bookstore that we were told to check out. Did you learn anything?"
Just that the Shadow of Gorusian
And
has
I will say that at this particular area, you might want to be somewhat cautious with the information you share. Just because, shadow governments are not necessarily something you talk about in the open light of day.
Well, I'm sure we can disclose the information later. Just that, I guess they're the ones that'll find us, and that helps us. That makes our job a little easier.
Well, it seems like they've been trying to find us anyway. I'm sure they're watching us even now.
Do I see anybody around that could be?
Go ahead and make a investigation. Actually, no, a perception check.
I'm good at this. I'm bad at this. Dang it.
Oh,
And you look around, you don't necessarily see anybody.
that's a big oof.
Oh my god. Okay, you have a +5 roll too. Okay. They said the cavern is supposed to open tomorrow night. Would you guys want to stay in town for the night, or should we get on our way?
I'm sure we should get on our way, meet it halfway, perhaps. So we don't have so much to track through. And she kind of flips her hair.
Char kind of nods. You sure you have everything you need?
You guys
I have
have
enough.
enough potions and everything? Because this is kind of the last stop before this done.
Love being muted.
I'm sure I could go over here, and she points to, I guess the potion shop. I might need a few of those.
And if we go out, we can be the ones to set up the ambush. If they do what we think they will do.
I agree.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So, you're all leaving at this point in time?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are we picking up any potions or anything, or are we just gonna...
I mean,
From the
I
pick-me-up
would like
potioneria?
some healing. I'm sure Anore would benefit from some healing potions, if there's any in there.
Yeah, Char, you rich guy, you.
Not so rich anymore? Yeah. Yeah, Charles stopped by the...
Pick-me-up potioneria?
Yes.
Okay, well, so you should probably pick up as many rations as you want from Jumo General Shop. So rations are... How much are rations?
Someone take rations and I'll take potions.
Rations
Honora
1
looks
day.
through her corn.
It's
She looks
five
through
five
her
silver
corn.
pieces
Okay.
per ration.
And how much, like, how many rations do we get? Just like
So
one
that's
day rations?
that's per 1 day of rations.
Okay, and then
So you should
she looks to the rest.
So it'll be, if you
rest
were to
of-
pick up like 20 rations, that'd be more than enough.
It'd be enough.
So like 10 rations I think would be plenty. So 10 rations would cover today, the next day, and then, you know, the trip back. So I guess about 20 rations would be enough to cover the entire round trip.
She looks into her coin purse and she's like, well, I don't have a lot in here, but I'm sure I could do a little bit. Who wants to split with me with rations? No one?
I could go for some rations.
I was gonna take care of the potions.
Yeah, so
Sounds
potions
good.
the potions of minor healing are 2 gold each.
I'll buy 2 gold each.
Yeah.
What is this for? I'll buy I guess like 6 of them. Or 12 of them. 12 of them.
Okay. And Lavender opts to pay for the rations, so you know what, she'll just go ahead and do that. She spent total of, let's see, so that would be 10 gold plus however much let's say she spent 20 gold on flowers and rations, and you guys have oopsies, I forgot, I didn't do that right. There we go. So yeah, so Lavender
Okay.
picks up the rations and the flowers.
And
Alright.
the potions are 2 gold each.
Yes.
So 24 gold if I'm buying 12.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to grab them, and I'm going to give everyone. Oh shoot! Wait, I didn't do the math
You did
correctly.
math. So you're gonna give everyone 2 each, but you're gonna hold on to 4.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So
Honora.
So you guys travel through the military quarter again, and of course you see a whole bunch of hot men sweating their balls off, doing various workouts, exercises, training. You know, you kind of give a gentle nod to the Leonin commander, who takes a look at you guys again, and he kind of gives a nod back, and before yelling at his troops more, it's like, oh, go run another lap. You guys exit the south entrance of Stonefall. You pass through the gates with no problem. You talk to the guard and say, hey, we're going to be off doing this quest from Guildmaster Bramblefoot. He says, all right, cool, go on and through. And you guys then travel through the plains of Stonecall, through the various military area, and you come up to the border of the forest again.
Well, have you guys ever been here?
I don't
Can't say that I have.
You guys have any experience with the arcane?
She raises her hand a little bit and she's like, mayhap.
Not more for enchantments, less for actual and for the direct study of magic.
Well, what do you need me to do? I'm sure I could fill in the blanks.
Lavender just kind of says, you know, let's just go in. We already know what's going to happen. Let's just go ahead and get it over with. And she steps through with no problems.
I would like to know what happens before I enter whatever this is.
And you see in front of you, you see that the light within this forest is a bit discolored in more of a kind of bluish hue. Compared to being outside of the forest, it's a lot more of a yellowish hue.
Okay, can I do an Arcana check on it?
Yeah, go ahead and do an Arcana check. You're able to tell that the forest is magical.
Awesome. She just shrugs and she's like, well, if there's any weird heebie-jeebies here, I'm sure it would have happened to y'all walking through as well. And she just steps in.
Okay, go ahead and make a constitution check for me.
Constitution save or just...
Oh, I guess, yeah, constitution saving throw. You need
Oh.
it's the DC is 12.
I got a 20.
So, as you step in, you notice that your vision, your hearing, all of your senses seem to dull a little bit, almost as if you're drunk, but not really. You know you're not drunk, it's just everything seems kind of muffled.
She hisses under her breath and she's like, well, I didn't expect this to happen. And she kind of just continues huffing, kind of annoyed.
And you see Lavender picking up more of the flowers that make her mouth numb.
What is it with you and flowers? She looks at Lavender.
And she takes a big bite out of one of the flowers, and she says, well, it tastes pretty good.
But doesn't it feel uncomfortable when your mouth goes all numb?
It's pretty interesting if you ask me, so I'd just saying you should try it if you want.
As weird as it sounds, I think that's the part she likes most.
Interesting.
Okay. So, there are still 3 of you on the other side of the forest wall.
Oh yeah, I go through.
Okay, roll a constitution saving throw.
Char is gonna grip his amulet of Salune and also step through.
So I need constitution saving throw for...
Oh, please God.
That's meant to be a +4, so 18.
And
That's
Char,
amazing.
you actually, having been in here, you expecting this, the effect of the forest is less pronounced. And you will actually get a +1 to all saving throws during your time in the forest.
Nice.
And Tristan will also step through.
Okay. And Constitution saving throw. Korak, you're able to step through with no problems. You still, feel everything a little bit numbed. Tristan, as you step through, it really gets to you. You are not really ready or expecting what's going on. The magical essence of this forest just kind of hits you in the wrong way. And you feel the numbness of everything, but you feel that you are less mobile and capable. So all of your rolls suffer from a -1 penalty while you are in the forest.
Tristan, as he steps through, he sort of just... everything sort of hits him, and he closes his eyes as if he's in pain, and he sort of just... he looks dizzy, as if everything is just going through his head, and he can't see straight, he can't think. He's just like, here come. And it doesn't really go, and he looks, he opens his eyes slowly, and the only person he's looking for is Anore. He's a friendly face, and he knows her, and he's just like, where is she? Where is she here? Where is she?
Anora walks over, kind of... She doesn't go, walk over quickly, but she does take her time a little bit, and she kind of puts her hand on his shoulder. Or, what is their pronouns, I should ask?
He him.
He, him? Okay. His shoulder, and she's like, I'm right here, dear.
He sort of bears the weight of this new burden that he has to deal with, and he opens his eyes slowly, and he feels a bit more reassured about all of this.
You'll be just fine. There's a group of us here.
He smiles and he joins the group.
Alright. And as you guys are now walking through the forest, you notice that the deeper, the closer you get to the this cavern that you're aware of, you see that the trees and the roots become a little bit more twisted. Not in the same way that Char, Lavender, and Korak are familiar with, but it's you see that the light tends to shift a little bit more of a darker blue as you progress, and you know, as you travel, you don't seem to have any problems, and you're able to arrive at the location without any incident. At the estimated location without any incident. You're not exactly sure where it is, but you know that it's somewhere within the nearby area.
I guess we're here. It's a little different than I remember it being.
Different how? She kind of looks to Jar.
I just remember the forest being a lot more, I don't know, not as blue, I guess, and the roots are less twisted here.
Literally, whatever has sway over this forest does not like to keep it stagnant.
Well, magic itself isn't stagnant.
Miss Nora, have you thought about going to the dungeon ruins?
She shrugs and she responds with, "What ruins? I really haven't heard of them before."
Deep in this forest, Lavender, Korak, and I, and our former party members, we traveled to this ancient ruins, and the magic there was quite terrifying.
Terrifying how?
Terrifying in a way that you can never forget.
I see. Well, perhaps one of these days I would love to go see what these ruins are like.
Hopefully, if we ever go back, you'd be welcome to join us.
I would love to, dear. And she kind of like smiles kind of creepily.
Now that we're here, I believe a day early, or
Yeah, so at this point it is nighttime. So you have to wait an additional day for the...
should we set camp or maybe work on like potential defenses if anybody wants to ambush us?
I would love to. I need to look at my phones. She would take out her book and just kind of like flip through them. Well, I do have this dear lovely spell. It is, it sets an alarm, as you will.
I mean, I'm sure that would come in handy if we're all trying to get some rest and some unwanted visitor happens to visit.
Why don't I go put it down somewhere? Where do you guys think would be the best place to, you know, rest a little?
So we heard that it was a cavern. How close can we see the cavern, or how close are we to the cavern?
You are within a couple 100 meters of it, but it's with the tree lines and everything. You have a couple of different areas where you think it might be, but as of right now, it could be anywhere.
Maybe we should go find this cavern first.
But it's not. It would currently not show up. It won't show up until time indicated.
Oh. I guess let's just choose some place to set a camp, place our alarm there, and then
Are there any hilly areas?
There are small little knolls, some like knolls that are covered in trees, and there's various rocks scattered around. These gigantic stones are similar to what you've seen scattered throughout Drongard. Um, like they're part of a old mountain that used to exist, but there's not any specific. I don't know. Is there like there's no notable hills.
Is there somewhere where like, sorry, is there somewhere where like our backs wouldn't be out to the open, like to set up camp?
Yeah. So I imagine you could find a specific hill where you could hide underneath something.
Okay.
With some trees around.
She'd point over to like the little hill or wherever you pointed at, and she'd be like, well, how about over here? I mean, our backs aren't out in the open, and I'm sure if we have any intrusion, we can put the alarm down and we will know.
That seems pretty thought out.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
thought out,
seems
thank
like
you.
the best spot.
Okay. So you guys set up camp. You do your thing. You are able to rest. Get a nice long rest for the night, and you wake up the next morning. And as you wake up, you hear a small little cart kind of rolling nearby, just on the little road that you haven't crossed yet. But you hear it rolling by, and it's about morning time at this point.
Char's going to can like Char look at it, see what it looks like.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, from what you can see, it appears to be just like a simple covered wagon. Are you trying to look closer at it, or are you just?
Yeah, trying to make out any defining features of it that could give me an inclination of what it is.
Do a perception check.
+5.
Okay.
10.
It seems like they're carrying some goods, some trading wares on this cart. The person leading the cart doesn't look hostile. It seems like an elderly man.
Oh.
Leading the cart.
Is anybody else awake?
I'm
Everyone's
still
awake at this
asleep.
point.
Oh, can Anore still be asleep?
Sure. Anore is getting her beauty sleep.
Yeah, Anore she sleeps late. She doesn't care.
Tristan woke up a little earlier and sort of went off a little, 10 feet away from where everyone was asleep, and sort of is kneeling down with his eyes closed, holding a necklace, an amulet around his neck, and just thinking to himself. He's clearly in an internal space, but he hears what Star is up to, and he turns around and he wanders over to see how he could be of assistance.
Does Char notice Tristan clutching his amulet?
For the sake of argument, he does. You are able to see him, unless Tristan's intentionally hiding. I don't see a reason.
Tristan is not intentionally hiding.
Would Char recognize which amulet, which faction or deity this amulet belongs to?
Do a religion check. I'm gonna say the DC is about 16.
Sometimes loud. I failed. 14.
You don't necessarily recognize it. It kind of looks a little familiar, but you don't know what it is. You don't know which one it is.
Oh,
You see Lavender kind of off on across the way, kind of shaking her head a little bit, and a bit of a not disappointed, but definitely kind of a little judgy of Tristan.
Tristan goes over to Lavender and says,
For
did
the
you
sake of
sleep?"
roleplay, I don't want to necessarily do this. You know, she has her own reasons and everything, but she doesn't respect other. She doesn't respect gods that desire to be worshipped. So
Oh, there. So he returns to Char and says, "How can I help? Are you okay?"
I saw this cart rolling by, and they look pretty non-hostile, but I figured maybe some of us should go and check it out just to make sure that, we don't get, they're not hiding or anything.
That sounds pretty smart. You want me to go with you, or
Sure.
should we all go? What do you think?
Nori's asleep. Ideally, we'd have somebody stay at camp, because this area is where we know
I'll
the
stay.
cavern will be.
Lavender and Korak both volunteer. You know, say that they'll stay and stick around.
And
I
we'll just be
mean-
like,
I still do also have my alarm up. I don't know how long that lasts, but I know it lasts like 8 hours.
I'm not intentionally having. I'm intentionally not having this party be attacked at the moment. You know, I've already rolled for
Okay.
something like that. It's
Yeah.
I got a different roll. So, and this is the encounter. But it's not a violent encounter.
Okay,
um,
sounds good.
so I'd say you and I, Tristan, we should go and just see what it is, and just come back, report, rather quickly.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll follow you. Let's
Okay.
go see what's up.
Yeah, and Char leads Tristan, and we head towards the direction of the cart that we saw rolling by.
Okay. So as you approach the cart, you see there's this old man kind of leading it, and he sees you, and he kind of pulls the reins on the horse that's carrying it. He says, "Whoa, oh, hello there,
Hi.
hello there, young whippersnappers. Are you guys looking for some goods?"
Yeah, we were just curious about what you were transporting.
Well, I'm carrying some things that I'm a traveling salesperson.
What are you carrying?
Well, I'm carrying a different, an assortment of things. Like I got some adventuring gear if you need them. I got some poisons if you need them, and I got some tools if you need them.
Oh,
I also got some playing cards.
Oh well, I don't need any of those at the moment, but thank you for your kind offer. But what about you?
Can we just check your wagon? Just the back of it, just to make sure.
That's where I have my wares. Like, feel free to look at it.
Okay, Char's gonna go look at the back, look at the wares. Just take note of how it's just wares.
Yeah, you see various potions, and some of them might seem like they're poisons. You see some caltrops. You see some clothes. You see cards. You see what looks like to be blades that you put over your fingers on a glove. You see some oil in a flask.
What potions would you happen to be carrying?
Well, I have some truth serum, and then I also have some other poisons too. If you need something of that nature.
How much for the truth serum?
Well, I'm selling the truth serum for about 150 gold.
Damn.
Would you? I can't afford that, but I'm highly interested in this truth serum. Is there any way we could negotiate over it?
Well, give me a counter offer.
I am willing to part with 15 gold.
15 gold? Oh no,
15.
that's much too low. I can come down to 120 gold.
Um,
And Lavender has 200 gold, by the way, that she can part with.
I'm not gonna use lavender. Is the truth serum deeper in the wagon, or like towards the front of it, or?
And he steps into the wagon and he holds it up for you. It's this kind of silvery looking serum. This vial has about 5 doses worth.
It's pretty good vial.
Before
Tristan.
Char makes, as Tristan watches this interaction, and he walks over to Char, and he can clearly see how badly Char wants this truth serum. He places a hand on Char and casts guidance.
And what does guidance do in this case?
You touch a willing creature and choose a skill. Until the spell ends, the creature adds 1d4 to any ability check using the chosen skill.
Okay.
It requires concentration.
Okay. Char is gonna look at the man and say, seeing as you're a wandering merchant, what if, do you happen to be a betting man?
Well, I was at one point in my life, but I've given it all up. Why, are you proposing some sort of a wager?
Yes.
What kind of a wager are you thinking of?
I have this potion of invisibility, and you have that truth serum. So how about we play a quick round of cards, and we'll just say the betting odds are the potions.
Go ahead and do a persuasion check. DC is 13.
Do I add guidance to that?
Yes. So 1d4, which you'd pass. Since
Okay.
you're at 12, and plus you get a +1 anyway. So
because I'm in the course. Yeah.
So he says, "Sure, why not? Why the hell not? Let's go ahead and do this." And so you sit down with him and you begin playing cards. And go ahead and I need you to roll twice for me.
Like just a d20 flat, or?
Oh no, it's good. You're gonna do a history check to see if you're any good at cards.
Okay, I'm great at history. I'm sort of okay at history.
So you're really good at cards. So your next roll is gonna have a +2 to it.
Nice.
And you're gonna do a performance check.
I'm kind of good at that. Oh, not 20. Woo!
Alright, and you are handily able to beat him at a game of cards. And he says, "Well, that's what I get for being a gambling man, I guess." And he hands you the potion. Fair is fair, you won this fair and square.
Thank you for being open to a game.
It's like, very well. If I ever see you again, well, I hope to see you alive and well, and I hope you buy something next time.
I hope I'll have the gold to buy it.
And then he takes off, and
Char's waving at him as he goes. And he turns to Tristan and says, "Thank you for helping me with that."
No worries. You look like you had a pretty good handle of it without the help. But I'm here for you.
Out of curiosity, and Char pulls out his amulet of Selune. Do you happen to also be a worshipper of any kind?
Tristan nods enthusiastically at this question, and in this possible avenue to talk about religion and talk about his deity. Yes, he says, I am actually. So are you a follower of Selune?
Yes, I some night ago, when I was at my lowest point in my life, Selune gifted me with a vision and this amulet, and I found myself believing in her.
Wow, that's very moving. I completely understand how the gods have what's the word I'm looking for? Have impacted our lives. I myself am a worshipper of Ilmater. I grew up in an area where there was a lot of clashes, and a local monastery got led by example and helped and went out of their way, and they were worshiping the godmother. And I just followed in their footsteps. I just was so fell in love with their ideals of helping and following in the broken god's footsteps. And I had to be a part of it. And that is how I became a worshipper and a follower of Ilmater.
Wow, that's amazing. Seeing as you're a fellow religious person, I would like to consult to you about something.
Of course, I'm all
Uh,
ears.
I know we've just met, but when my friend lied in my arms and bled out, I did everything. I casted every magic I could, prayed to my god Saloon, and I couldn't save him. And I don't know what to make out of it.
Well, the motto teaches that we bear the pain so others don't have to. Perhaps you bear that pain of not being able to save your friend. So you'll never forget it. You'll never forget that feeling. So you'll go forward and know how it feels to not be able to save. He may want you to try harder next time. He may want you to do even more, to dig deeper.
I see.
Thank you. Just 2 cents. Just my 2 cents.
It means a lot to me.
But on a personal level, I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend. I know they'd want you to carry on, to move on to the next fight, to keep pushing ahead.
It's hard. And I don't really know if what I'm doing now is what Saloon would want me to do, or if even what Gareth would want me to do. But
the best we can do is just consult and pray and just divine, do the best we can. What would Saloon do? What would Ilmater do?
I'll put my faith in that. We should head back before Nor wakes up.
Yes. Yeah, let's go.
And we head back.
Okay. And as you guys make it back to the camp, nothing of. If you guys want to roleplay anything, go for it. But from a dungeon master perspective, nothing of note happens during the day.
Anore is awake now.
Is like Anore reading her book or anything?
Yeah, she's just like kind of sitting on the floor, reading her book and slowly like flipping through the pages.
Char's gonna kind of go towards Anore and kind of crouch down. What are you reading?
She glances at Char and how tall is he compared to her? She's like 5'7".
He's 5'9".
Okay, so he's a little bit taller. She kind of like looks up at him and she's like, "Well, if you must know, it is my spell book."
Oh, you're a wizard?
Yes, indeed.
My friend was a wizard.
You do awfully talk about your friend a lot. Who were they?
He was the first person when I left my church. that really took an interest to me, who saw me as a person rather than just some scum of the earth.
Why would you be a scum of the earth, dear?
I feel like, oh, I've been doing things that I've been so afraid of doing. And now I don't know what I'm doing.
Sometimes we must do what others don't like in order to survive. It's just the order of things. She kind of like puts the book down onto her lap, still open, of course, and is now her full attention's on Char.
Hmm. My friend didn't really believe in the power of the gods. Are you the same?
It depends if they can give me more power. That is.
I've been thinking a lot about my goddess, about the power I need to avenge my friend. And I don't know what to do next.
Only time can tell what we must do next. And I'm sure it will tell you once it is time.
Oh, I never asked, but what are you guys doing at Stonecall? Why are you here?
Just little this and that. I like to get out and explore things as you will.
Well, Stonecall happens to be very...
Can I do a deception?
Oh,
if you
yeah.
guys want to do a deception and insight, so it would be Char would be a active in like a insight check, and
Okay.
yeah.
I happen to be kind of okay at insight. Oh, not that. Ah! I also rolled a 21.
So you're able to tell that she's hiding something, but it's yeah. So in this particular case, it's immediate or immediate situation. So he is able to tell, like, kind of. He gets an idea that you're hiding something.
Her tell is like she's fidgeting with her book as she's like talking.
You're really crumpling those pages.
Oh my. And she kind of like closes it on her lap.
Have you ever killed anyone before?
I don't believe I have.
Yeah, you've got some orcs.
She puts the I'm gonna like she's gonna put her hand on her chin, not her hand, her finger on her chin, and she's like, oh wait, I have.
Aren't you, I mean, aren't you afraid that you'll kill someone again?
Not really. I mean, if it is to survive, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Huh. You're very interesting.
Why, thank you, dear. Can I get your name again?
Char.
Oh, nice to meet you, Char.
Will you happen to be staying in the city after this quest is all done?
She puts she doesn't put, but like she continues to hold her finger against her chin, thinking for a second. As a few moments pass, I guess the silence is a little awkward, and then she finally responds, I do think I will be. I haven't seen anything that would draw me away.
That's great. Hopefully, hopefully we can count on you in the future.
I hope you can.
As Char kind of stops crouching and turns around, he takes one look back at Anore and says, "Can I trust you?"
I don't think you don't. Well, sorry. I'm gonna rephrase that.
I don't think you can.
That's no reason not to trust me.
So can I trust you?
For now.
I see. And Char takes off.
I mean, I'm not gonna do deception because she is telling the truth. So
I believe that wholeheartedly.
yeah.
Korak, Tristan, are you wanting to do anything else? I want to give everyone a chance that wants it before I go into the next part. I do want to take like a 2-minute break real quick because I gotta pee, but
You're good. I was gonna pee myself.
All right.
So
Okay.
2-minute break. Korak, decide if
Hell
you want to
yeah.
do anything. Tristan, decide if you want to do anything. But we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Awesome.
okay.
Okay.
10:28 for me. We'll apply appropriate time zones.
I am also back.
Oh. All right.
I am back.
Okay. We got Anore, Char, Korak, Tristan. All right, we're all back. All right.
Yeah.
Korak and Tristan, do you guys want to do anything else before we get to the next part?
I'm good. I'm all good.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So, as you all wait, you watch the sun set below the mountain ranges on the western horizon. You notice that the moon begins to come out and shine down. And as it's shining down, you notice a beacon of light emanate from nearby. And it draws your attention.
I do believe we're going over there. She
That's
points at the beam of light.
looks like the direction.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's any other way to go. Let's do it.
All right. So as you approach the area, you see a small clearing, and you see this stone archway. Hang on. before you, the stone archway appears to be kind of an unnatural kind of construction. The moonlight peering through the forest canopy seems to, as it strikes the stone, you can see that it's actually giving definition to the stone before you, and within the shadows, the archway kind of it shimmers in some respect, as if it's becoming unstable in the dark, but it becomes solid when the moon passes over it. And along the archway, you see draconic letters.
I can read Draconic. Do I know what it says?
Okay, so what you are able to read says, "In the dark I am seen, in the light I fade. Treasure lies within, but blood must be paid. To see beyond vision, to live beyond sleep. To enter this cavern, forget what you keep."
Whoa. I relay that to the group.
All right, and as you are looking at it, you kind of, I guess give me a perception check on this.
13.
Okay, and you're able to tell that you need to be doing something to interact with the store,
Oh.
and you said that the ancient entry demands an offering, and it seems like it's asking for a small amount of blood.
Can I, seeing that it's like run by like moonlight and everything, would I know if this has like a connection to Saloon or not?
For the sake of time, it does not have it does not have any connection to Saloon.
I guess it wants a small blood offering.
Oh, I
Or
can
not.
do that. And she just takes out her dagger. And I guess walks over and spills blood.
Okay, so as you spill blood on the ground before it, it doesn't seem to react in any way, shape, or form. Char, as you look closer at the inscriptions, you do see that there's emphasis on the phrases "to see beyond vision," "to live beyond sleep," and "forget what you keep."
Get what you eat. See,
Forgot what you.
I still relayed to the group.
Okay, I put the riddle inside the
Nice.
game.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me like a second to think about this.
Alright.
Live beyond.
And if you need assistance, if I've made this too difficult, I'm happy to give hints.
We'll figure this out.
Can I do like an intelligence thing
Yes.
to kind of decipher it?
Do an intelligence check.
Do intelligence, just flat intelligence?
Yes, flat intelligence.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, what is it?
You get the sense that you need to put the blood on the door.
Oh.
Oh.
She watches the blood kind of follow. She's like, and then she's like, oh, and then like puts it onto the door.
It still doesn't seem to react at all. And you notice closer, you see that there are 3 different circles on the door.
Oh, perhaps 3 offerings?
We all need to give a little.
Well, I'm not gonna just bleed out here.
And it seems like in the circles, it kind of suggests that there are certain words or symbols you need to put on those 3 spots.
In our blood? Or
Let's sleep to enter this cavern. Sleep, vision, cavern?
So to see beyond vision, to live beyond sleep, forget what you keep.
Oh. I mean, Miss Wizard, any ideas?
She shrugs. She's like, this isn't my expertise.
Maybe forget what you keep is something valuable to you, like a personal item, perhaps.
It is a personal item indeed.
Perhaps
She looks-
maybe. Oh, you go.
She looks down at her necklace. It's a sort of toy.
So I'll give you another hint. They are concepts.
See beyond vision to look beyond sleep. Forget what you keep. Wait, we'll figure this out. I swear to God, we're gonna figure this out.
Perhaps,
Um,
or well, perhaps if I put an amulet, if I put my amulet in this,
You put
on the
these amulets
stone.
and trinkets up toward the door, nothing happens. You get the sense that you need to draw with the blood of the party certain symbols.
to live, see beyond vision. To see. Chart doesn't really have a blade on him.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys share a blade and you're able to pull your blood. And,
I mean, Anore still has her dagger out if you want to have it.
Could I borrow that, Miss Anore?
She flips it over and gives it to him.
Tar is gonna slice open his hand.
just prick your finger. You don't need to slice open your hand.
Oh, yeah, he did
Oh.
prick his finger.
Not us just slicing open her hand like
You guys are
it's
taking
nothing.
1d4 slashing damage. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
No,
Let
I'm
me
kidding,
do
I'm
that.
kidding, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's gonna take off his amulet, holding in like his bloodied hand.
Okay.
And he's gonna try putting that in.
All right. So nothing happens. But I want you to make a religion check.
A religion check?
Religion check.
16?
All right. So you get a small little prompting in the back of your mind. Dreams.
Dreams. Sleep. Dream.
And as you're reading To Live Beyond Sleep, you kind of get the idea of dreams.
Perhaps maybe we have to sleep?
Okay, hang on. I'm going to private message you here real quick.
I have one idea. It's a really...
Is that helpful?
Oh, kind of? So, if we have to say concepts, right?
Yeah, so that is the concept, right?
So putting that in there, I would say dream.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
So you have to draw the symbol.
Oh. With my blood.
Yes.
I'm gonna draw a blood symbol.
Okay. Of
The
So what does the symbol mean?
I have no idea.
I gave you the answer. Chart.
The
Okay.
symbol means dream.
Yes. So you draw the symbol dream.
Oh.
Okay. And you notice that the door kind of lights up and activates a little bit.
Oh. So, I guess we just need to write the symbol of the concept in these holes. Does see beyond vision any ideas?
I don't know why, but I'm drawing a blank.
Me too. It's so
All
funny.
right. Okay. Do you
We'll
need
figure-
help?
No. I think we can figure this out.
I am more than happy to give you some hints.
We can do this. Tristan, do you have any ideas, perhaps?
To see beyond vision.
See beyond vision.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Forget
I'm
what
also
you
trying.
do.
I guess
Korak, do you have any ideas?
I got nothing.
Okay, what are you
Okay.
doing when you blank out, staring off into space?
I dissociate?
Well, no, not dissociating, but a much simpler term.
Zone out.
Okay, zoning out. You are
You daydream.
okay. So in a daydream, what are you doing? Like, what's the more common term?
Here.
Imagination.
Okay, and that's correct. Imagination. So
Wow.
um,
all right.
then,
So Anore says, "Hey, what if it's imagination?" to Char, and Char draws an imagination. You see the door light up a second time, being charged with magical energy.
and then forget what you keep. Get what you keep.
That had something to do with a personal item, right?
It is indeed a very personal item.
Get what you keep.
Everyone has one.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave behind it.
Okay, let me look at my inventory. Let me
It's
think
not in
about
your
it.
inventory.
I feel like it's a heart. I feel like it's, I don't know, your brain or something.
It's
Should I like
it
parts?
is a concept. It's making reference to a concept. This is what happens when the concept occurs.
The
Forget?
concept was
I don't know. Get what you keep. The concept,
It's
meaning
very simple.
we're gonna figure this out.
Everyone has to deal with it at some point in their life.
loss.
Get what you keep. I
Okay.
don't know, like guilt.
Death.
Life?
Anora said it. It's death.
Oh,
Oh.
drawing the death rune.
Okay. So as you draw the death rune, you see the whole door light up and lift slowly. And sorry if that was too difficult, but so the doorway lifts and opens up all the way, and you see before you lies a staircase, leading into this cavern.
I guess we should head in.
Anore waits for somebody else to go in first.
I go in first. Am I muted?
You are
Oh,
not
you know.
muted. You're working.
Just checking.
Heads in.
Char goes after Tristan.
Okay.
Anore follows Char.
All right. And you guys enter this cavern. And as you enter the cavern, you see surrounding you, and you see these massive stone walls of just stacked stones, and you see just kind of a dirt ceiling. It feels like a tunnel, and there's random chunks of moss growing all over the place, and the moss is glowing, illuminating the entire cavern. And if you guys want to go ahead and go to hit the play button at the top of your character sheets, you'll see the short rest, long rest, campaign, shadows, and knowledge, and you'll see a play button. Hit that button. It says launch game, and it'll take you to.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, whoa,
Oh,
oh.
wow.
Now, I don't know if we're going to get through the whole thing, but I want you guys to get through at least the left side. Like this far left side here.
Well, isn't this beautiful?
This is stunning. I don't think I've seen anything like this.
And as you guys enter this cavern, you see these moss walls and everything. You see various forms of mist flowing through the cavern as well.
Oh.
And then I'm going to have you guys move your people forward as far as you want. If you want to do any checks on anything, just let me know.
Can Anore do like just an Arcana check? Just obviously there's magic.
Is there a specific thing you're looking for?
She's just curious what kind of magic.
Okay. Let's see. What was the? You got
Oh, wow.
28. It is a it's a form of celestial magic.
Oh. Char just wants to like take a quick look behind him. Is the door still open or is it closed?
The door is still open, but it's slowly closing behind you. You imagine that as you try to touch it again, you see that it does open for you if you're trying to exit, but
Okay.
it closes behind you.
Okay.
Tristan would like to understand a bit more about the construction of this cave that we're in, to see if there's any, I don't know, sort of religious element behind the history of this building, like this cave. Like, what's the history of it, or is it related to a religion? Is this for religious use? So what check should he roll?
Do a investigation check, since you're checking for things. So as far as you're able to tell, there are no specific runes or notations outside of outside of the random draconic scribbles along the walls. But you don't necessarily read them. Some of the I'm sure Char reads them and reads them down to you. And one of them says Grog was here.
Oh.
And then Grog was here.
Okay.
Oh.
And then he looks at some other ones and one of them just says penis, as is the duality of man.
Okay.
It's just random vandalism throughout the walls.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm trying to make a joke. It didn't land very well.
I look specifically on the walls for like any symbols or stuff more relating to if there's any known historical things I found that are similar to to anything within this area.
You're looking for like historical notations?
Yes.
For the sake of time, for the sake of everything, you're not going to find any.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and move your characters forward to where you want to go.
She wants to go bigger.
Okay.
Damn, I was just kind of chilling right here.
Korak, are you able to move yourself? Okay. All right. And then here, I gotta pull out the eraser.
Oh.
This is a very curious type of magic. Celestial. She'd say under her breath or out loud. Either or.
You wouldn't happen to know what type of celestial, would you?
I can try to find out if you'd like.
That'd be somewhat helpful.
Can she cast detect magic? Or
Sure, I guess, yeah. If you have the spell, then
yeah. She will cast it then. and like you see her eyes kind of like light up, the light blue kind of turning into a more lavender color as she looks around.
You just notice that the walls around you and the moss and everything just all kind of glow with an extra level of like you can tell that there's magic just all over the place.
Oh.
There's no it seems like it's a I don't want to call it an intrusion, but it seems like a crossover from the celestial planes.
So there's like two types of magic at play,
No, it's just
or
all celestial.
it's just all celestial. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't really tell. I mean, there's so much going on here.
I believe that. Should we head deeper in?
Why don't we? And she just kind of gestures for somebody to take the lead.
I take the lead.
Char will hang around Anore a little.
Char, are you willing to move Lavender alongside of you?
Yes,
Okay,
I can move
because
her.
that's going to make it easier for me. All right.
As we're walking,
Whoops.
does Char see like anything like on the floor that like people left behind or anything like that?
You don't see anything specific left behind as of yet, but as you move forward a bit more, you see that there's a skeleton there.
Jesus.
Seems like someone had just died in this cave.
Does it seem recent?
No, it's a
Oh.
full-on skeleton.
Char's going to
Okay. Are you going to investigate the body?
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check. DC is 6.
Where's my investigation?
It's pretty low.
I rolled a 2. A 9. I rolled a 9. I lied.
Okay, well, it seems like he died of starvation.
Oh. It seems like he died of starvation.
We will need to figure a way out of here, I'm guessing.
As long as we remember the way out, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, the door closed behind us.
You guys wouldn't happen to know any teleportation magic, would you?
That magic is way too complex for me to have known.
I
I
guess we'll just have to go
I
deeper.
might have something, but it's very untested.
I don't know.
Are you talking about your grenades?
I'm talking about my grenades.
All right. So, I guess keep moving.
Yeah, I guess we should
Okay.
go deeper in.
She shrugs and I guess follows the rest of the group.
Keep walking. Char kind of gestures for Tristan to be in the forefront.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, how dark is it in here, by the way?
It's actually pretty. It's not that dark. Actually, it's
Really?
pretty well lit. The moss on the walls glows and illuminates the whole space.
So, if she takes some of the moss, will it continue to glow?
Yeah. So the moss. You're able to if you harvest the moss, it stops glowing. But you notice that if you stick it onto something, it does glow.
What if she sticks it on herself?
Then it will glow on you, but it will die out within a couple minutes.
Oh.
Okay. She takes a little bit of moss and puts it on herself.
Okay.
And continues to walk.
All right.
Making the deeper in.
Just keep moving your stuff, your tokens. All right, now. All right. I need all of you to roll a athletics check. DC is 12.
Oh, gee.
Oh no. This is not good.
I
Okay.
got an 11.
19, but +1.
13.
Okay, so Anore, I need you to roll a 1d4. And then Lavender rolls a acrobatics.
You said 1d4?
Yes, a 1d4.
Okay, got a 2.
Okay, so as you guys walk through this space, you step on a pressure plate that causes rocks to fall and roll out from the wall, and you are all able to dodge out of the way, except for Anore, who gets hit in the leg with one of these rocks, and she takes 2 damage.
Oh. Are you okay?
Well, it didn't feel good. She'd say, kind of like really frustrated and kind of clutching her leg.
Um, can you walk?
I don't know. Can I walk? Like,
I mean,
if I like put pressure on my leg, will it feel fine? Or
I mean, it's. I mean, you took some damage to your leg.
okay. Well, I mean,
You can
I
still walk.
can slightly.
do you think maybe you could make it to perhaps the end of this tunnel, or till we get to someplace that we know, a little bit safer?
She nods, but is clearly like breathing in a frustrated manner.
Um,
I think I can help with that. Tristan moves over to where Anore is, and he lays his hands on. Sorry, Anore, what did you hurt?
She like points down at her leg, kind of like her shin area.
Oh, her shin. Oh, he lays his hands on her shin, and he uses his. Can Tristan use his healing pool, his lay on hands?
Does he have lay on hands?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And that doesn't. Is that like a cantrip?
It's a bonus action.
Oh yeah, you have no problems using lay on hands then.
So he uses how many points? How many hit points did you lose? No,
Just do.
just 2. He uses 2 of his healing point of his lay on hand points, and he heals her 2 hit points.
Okay. She kind of like, as I guess as they finish, she puts a hand on their shoulder and kind of like teases her leg a little bit to see if it's still in pain, and she says, "Well, why, thank you. I didn't need you to do that though."
I was happy to do it.
Well, I appreciate it, Tristan.
He helps her up, and they continue on.
we push forward.
All right. So as you move forward, you hear some shouting. You know, as you begin further in, you hear shouts of frustration. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. As you move further in.
We hear shouting.
You hear a guy. It sounds like someone is stuck.
Oh.
But that's what you hear.
It sounds like someone had died.
No, they're stuck.
Oh, okay. Should we check up ahead, or does someone want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That-
sounds like someone needs help.
All right.
And Korak goes to run in that direction.
All right. Yeah, because the sound is coming from up here in this direction. Okay. And oopsies. Yeah. don't move that one. And I need all of you to roll for initiative.
Oh,
Roll initiative?
initiative? I'm
Yes,
scared.
roll for initiative.
Oh snap! Something good. 12.
Are we all get? Oh,
Are we all 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow.
And
Oh,
so now, hang on, I gotta open up a separate page. Go to my encounters. Here we go.
Oh my god. Triple 12.
My encounter. Okay, start. Alright, so the first. So because you are getting ambushed, they get first attack. So they fire off the first shot at Tristan. And it completely whiffs by, bounces off the wall, and the guy that fired the shot takes 1d4 embarrassment damage. So he takes 2 embarrassment damage. And then B fires off his shot, and he gets an 11, which your AC is 18. And it misses entirely, and it flies past the party. And let me go ahead and reveal where they're at. Eraser, here we go.
Oh.
Okay. And they move in this direction. Alright. And now it is Char's turn.
Char,
So
seeing these.
Yeah, so these people are dressed in all black. They look like spies that you've dealt with before. They look like the spies that were in the forest that killed Gareth and Aaron.
Seeing this and sensing their familiarity, Char is going to raise his hand and he's going to cast a firebolt at Spy A.
Okay. What's the DC?
It's a hit, and it's is a 14.
Firebolt to hit is a 14. AC is 12. So how much damage does it do? And you're throwing it at A.
Yes, 5 points of fire damage.
Okay. So after taking some embarrassment damage and running, he runs directly into your firebolt.
That makes sense.
Okay. So now it is Anore's turn.
Alright. So Anore
Okay,
kind
let
of
me
like.
change the music real quick.
Okay.
This is not the correct ambiance. There we go.
That peaceful.
That's better.
Anore kind of like lifts up her hand, and you see her hand begin to rot, and then like fling towards Spy A. She's going to cast Chill Touch.
Right. And is that a saving spell, or is that to hit?
Yeah, to hit. She
So
got an 11.
Alright, so as you fire it off, it blows by their heads towards the back wall, and it dissipates as it passes by them.
I'm going to move.
And Char, if you wanted to move, I guess move. You're kinda where
Char
you-
will just stay where he is.
Okay.
Honore is gonna move like right behind Lavender. And just kind of like use Lavender kind of like a meat shield almost.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Korak, you're up.
Okay, so using my bonus action, I activate my gauntlet.
You don't have any charge on it.
Oh wait, I literally need the. Oh shit.
You get 1 hour of use out of it, and then the charge goes away. So you have to continuously recharge it with whatever magical element you want to use.
Okay, so I do waste bonus action, holding up my gauntlet, and nothing happens.
And realizing it doesn't do anything. Okay.
I then, a little flustered and caught off guard, just simply draw my new battle My new battleaxe.
Okay.
Striking at Spy A with a good old-fashioned booming blade on top.
Okay. Roll the hit. Alright, so it hits the roll for damage. Jeez. So
Aw.
this guy takes some embarrassment damage, gets lit on fire, and then this booming blade, you hit this dude. You're able to take a nice fat chunk out of his torso, and he's staggering.
Hang on. And he has to make a con save.
Okay. And what's the DC?
Plus.
Well, he got a 2, so you know.
So he also goes prone due to topple.
All right, so he falls over while on fire, screaming as he's starting to bleed out pretty bad. And this
And I end my turn.
this agitates Lavender, and let's see how far away is she. Yep. So she goes into rage, and then goes forward to attack Spy B, and actions, she's enraged. She gets attack using strength, either weapon or strength. Gain a bonus to the damage that increases as you gain level. How much is it? How much is the rage enter? Okay. So she goes to hit. She gets a nat 20. Oh my goodness. Alright, so she hacks at this guy, and he's got, and she's able to, chop off one of this dude's arms. And he's flies backwards, prone as well. So he's over here. Okay, and then now it's Tristan's turn.
Tristan runs up to the flaming by A, close to Korak, and he takes out his long sword, and he attempts to take another chunk out of Spy A.
Okay, roll the hit. So you come forward to try to swing at him, but the booming blade knocks the spy out of the way before you're able to land a hit.
Okay. And then probably...
You have a bonus
Yeah.
action?
No, I don't think so. Alright, that's me
Okay.
then.
Alright. So Spy A takes his time getting rid of the flame, and he stands back up for his entire turn. Spy B also stands back up during his entire turn with one arm missing and moves forward. And now it is Char's turn again.
Char
And you can tell
is
these guys are very beaten up at this point. Your sudden attack on them was absolutely, demonstrably decimating.
Char is going to put his hand out, and he's just going to say, "We know who you work for. I don't want to kill you, but I will. So you can lay down your weapons and talk to us, or I can kill you."
Roll a persuasion check. DC is 12.
12.
Okay. So they drop their weapons. Well, one guy with his arm still off, and they figured it's not worth fighting at this point. So I'm gonna do hide and hide. So at this point, They're willing to talk to you, and one guy requesting healing.
I'm not gonna heal that guy.
Okay. And then
But I'm gonna.
Lavender ends her rage and all that fun stuff.
Do you guys work for the Shadows of Gorusian?
They both shake their heads. We don't work for the Shadows of Gorusian. Actually, you know, that kind of Well, they say they don't work for the Shadows of Gorusian.
They say they don't?
They say they don't.
Who do you work for?
Roll a persuasion check. DC is 14.
Good. 19.
And they say we work for the Thorn Guard.
Char's gonna look at Tristan.
Tristan looks back at Char, his eyebrows raised, and he then asks them, "Do you know of a Commander Zarek Blackthorn?"
They said yes. We know who Zarek Blackthorn is. He's the commander of the Thorn Guard.
And what is he? What is your purpose here? Why have you come here?
Roll a persuasion check. DC is 12. And we can't really tell you that. That's not.
Surely we could come to an agreement that isn't on anyone's bad side.
Korak, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Intimidation?
Yes. He's not convinced, and he kind of chuckles. You're not going to find out why we're here.
Char's gonna go over towards Tristan. How badly do you want to know about these guys?
It's important to me.
That's all I need to know. And Char is gonna go up to the one with like his arm cut off.
Okay.
He's going to extend his hand, and he's going to firebolt him.
All right. Roll the hit.
I really hope I hit this. 13?
Okay, so it hits. Now roll for damage.
9 points of damage.
Okay, so you burn this dude to a crisp. He falls over screaming and dies.
Char's gonna look at the person that's still alive, and he's gonna say, either you end up like your friend here, or you answer my friend's questions.
Roll for intimidation at advantage, as you just murdered his friend in front of him.
Savage.
18.
Well,
2 18s, yeah.
okay. This is okay. Fine. We were here to find the Heartstone.
And what does Zarek want with the Heartstone?
Zarek, I don't know what Zarek wants with the Heartstone. All I know is that we need to return it to our lieutenant. That's all we know.
And where is your lieutenant? And who is your lieutenant?
Lieutenant Kaylin Dre. And
Kaylin Dre.
go ahead and roll a history check for me.
History.
You don't know of the name Kaylin Dre. It was specifically for Tristan. Nobody else would know of Kaylin Drake.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can tell us?
I know there's more of our forces deeper within the cavern. I don't know where. I can tell you where some of them are located.
And how many would you say there are?
From if I recall correctly, there's about 11 more.
11.
That is quite a lot, dear.
I can tell you where the next 2 groups are, but I don't know anything beyond that.
That'd be quite helpful. Why don't you go up front and show us?
Okay. And he says that around this corner at the end of the way, they're hiding out back in that corner, and then nearby to them, there's some hiding right there.
Well, why, thank you, dear. And, I guess, how bloody is he looking?
Oh, he's pretty bloody.
She wants to chill touch him.
Like to try to kill him?
Yes.
Okay, roll the hit.
She lifts her hand and, like, it moves out.
Okay, and roll for damage.
Okay.
Alright, so as you chill touch him, he becomes covered in ice and frost, but he's still standing, and he kind of falls to his knees. I thought you were going to let me live.
No, we won't. And then she does it again.
Jesus.
So, for the sake of argument, you hit him, and he freezes and dies. And he crumples in a heap.
That's a little issue out of the way.
Can Char just look at their bodies, see if they have any like emblems or anything that like says they're part of the Thorn Guard or anything?
Yep. So you guys are able to find a dagger of wounding.
Oh.
A smoke bomb, 1 each per person.
Oh.
And you find that each of them have the emblem. I'm looking for the emblem right now. Hang on, I gotta find the emblem. But you do find that each of them have an emblem on them.
So there's 2 emblems.
Yeah, each individual that you find will have an emblem.
Okay. I'm gonna take one of the emblems and hand it to Tristan. This could help in the future.
Tristan takes it. Thanks, Char, emphatically for what he did in getting those spies to talk, and puts the emblem, looks at it for a bit, and mulls it over, see if he recognizes it, and then...
And you are able to recognize it.
Okay. And he then puts it in his bag. He says, for later.
And in the background, after this exchange, you hear someone shout, "Is somebody there? Can somebody come out and help me, please?"
I would not bother to do that. We don't know who they are.
Char would like try to stealth over to the person to see if he can see them before the people see him.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get back over. I gotta make sure I'm going to the right.
Also, you said I found a dagger of wounding?
Yes. I can give you the stats here in a little bit. I'm trying to do one thing at a time. So.
Oh yeah. Take your time.
So, all right. So you hear the sound coming from right there.
Oh. Char is going to like stealth in that direction.
Okay. And as you round the corner, you see Kickless Nage. So this is all revealed here.
Oh, nice.
And everyone goes over here. These guys are dead, so I can delete them. So, and you see Kickless Nage wedged between certain stalagmite formations, with his cloak is just kind of stuck on one of the stalagmites. And he notices you and he goes, "Ha! Reinforcements! Just in time to witness history in the making, for I, Kickless Nage, I am moments away from uncovering the fabled pen of utmost brilliance. Oh, think of what all the things could depend on. Just imagine, if only I could get unstuck from this accursed rock formation."
How did you end up there?
Well, it's a funny story, really. It's more of embarrassing, but if you could just help me down, I would appreciate it.
Char's gonna look at the party.
I say we keep him there. We don't want him to bother us while we deal with the rest of those people.
I'm gonna regret this. Let him out.
Tristan nods at Char in agreement.
Korak, are you gonna help him?
I use my strength to help him.
Okay, so you're able to get him down with a certain degree of ease, and you're able to just put him down on the ground. It's like, thank you. It's good to see you again. And he's happy to see you.
Yeah, it seems we run into you in the most ridiculous of
Now,
places.
see, here's the thing. I am here for a very specific and very noble purpose. Like I said, I am here to find the pen of utmost brilliance. And he opens up his journal and he says, "I happen to know the way through this cavern."
Char is like putting his hand on his forehead, just like, oh man.
So do you guys know each other? She would like look.
We
to
run
Korak
into
and
each other once before.
And he says, "Yes, these fine fellows and lady, they were more than able and willing to assist me in my search for the Helm of Absolute Silence, and I say, that was a very, very kind thing for you to do. So I would appreciate your help in this regard, and don't worry, I'm more than happy to assist in any way I can." And he begins to move in this direction. Because it says, "Follow me, I know exactly where it is."
Anore kind of shakes her head and looks to the rest of the party. I really don't trust him in his direction. After all, he was stuck here a second ago.
Hey,
I'm not saying he's competent, but he's not exactly malicious.
I'm not saying he is, but he did get stuck on that stalactite.
So,
So we should at least see what he has to show us.
Wait, the way.
I guess so.
okay.
She flicks her hair a little.
Alright. So then as you guys follow him over, you guys all come over in this direction. And you see a large door with a glowing lantern. And as you guys enter this specific area, you notice that a wall of flame kind of shuts you in right here.
Ah.
And hang on. That'll work. Okay. Let's see, where's the tab that I need to be at?
Do we still see him?
Oh yeah, no, he's there. He's there with you.
Oh, okay.
And he's looking. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to find my specific notes. And he looks around and says, "Puzzles not necessarily my forte. I will leave this to you, my fine friends. And you see that along this wall there's a single lantern of flame, and the flame is red coming off of this lantern on this wall that he says where this pen should be. And as you approach the end of this fork, you see that there are 3 tall rods in front of this wall where this lantern is. And each of these rods has plates on them that are stacked up. There's the biggest one being at the bottom, the smallest one being at the top. It looks like a pyramid. And you see a draconic inscription along the back wall.
Char reads it.
All right, and it says, "Towering tall, the big and the small, move each with care, and doubly beware. For the small goes on big, but does not reverse. Move all to another, or face a dark curse."
Char relays that to the group.
Okay, and roll and you get the sense that you need to move all the plates from one of these pillars to another one of the pillars.
Could you write out the draconic?
The words?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to confirm, Tristan is looking at 3 poles, and each
Yes.
rod, each of these 3 has 2 plates, a big and a small.
So there's 4 plates stacked up on top of each other.
4 plates on top of each other, from big to small going up. Okay.
Yeah. If here, let me get you a visual. It looks like this.
Huh.
Except there are 4 instead of 5.
Small
Okay.
gets big, but does not reverse.
One of these. This feels like something better if we actually were able to do this physically.
Yeah, a little bit, but I love this particular puzzle.
Move each with care and doubly, for the small goes on big. Do not reverse. Anybody have any ideas?
So we're moving.
Yeah, you get the sense that you need
Okay,
to move
I
this
think.
tower to one of the other.
Okay. So, all right. So we're using this image as a guide, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I need like a piece of paper in front of me.
Move each with doubly, for the small goes on big. Does not reverse.
I've seen this puzzle
So you
before.
cannot stack the big ones on top of the smaller ones. You have to only put the smaller ones on top of the bigger ones.
Couldn't we? Oh wait, never mind.
You can move them around as much as you want. It's not just a one and done kind of thing. So if you were to move the first one to one rod and then move the second one to the second rod, you could move the first one back over to the first rod or the third rod on top of the number 2.
Okay, I think if you move, if you move yellow off,
Shoot, I also wish I had a piece of
you
paper.
move orange to the other one.
So let's just go in the order of the ones you want to move. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me the exact order that you want to move them.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be like 1 and then 2 and then etc.
Okay. And there's 4 discs.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2. Oh.
Wait. I'm seeing an image in my brain, but let me go grab my iPad so I can draw this out.
It is too late at night for me to do this without a physical thing.
If I was to do this, would this work? If I did if I just did the shapes on the.
I kinda have an idea. Let me just. Okay, so. So.
Move.
2. And then. Put 1 on top of 2.
Okay.
Then put down.
So you do 1, 2, 1, and you put you put it on top of the second one, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna throw my idea out there. I don't know, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put 1 on the second pole, and then I'll put 2 on the third pole, and then I'll move 1 to the third pole, and then I'll move 3 to the second pole. Oh
Okay.
shoot! Wait, I'm
Yep,
starting to get
you're on the right
confused.
track. You're doing it right.
Oh. No, wait. I had such. It was so good.
You are doing it right.
And then I lost it. And then I'll move 1 to the first pole,
Okay. All right.
and then I'll put 2 on the second pole,
Okay.
and then wait.
Yes, you're doing it right.
Then I'll put 1 back on the second pole,
Okay.
and then I'll move. Oh shoot! Wait, now I'm confused.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're doing it right. Do what you're thinking.
Okay, so 1 to the second pole, and then.
So now the status of everything is you have the 4th plate sitting by itself, and then you have 3 plates sitting on the second pole.
Oh shoot! But then there's a plate like. Oh wait! Oh, I messed up somewhere.
No, you didn't mess up.
The
first rod has plate 4, the second rod has plates 1, 2, and 3, and the third rod has nothing on it.
1, 2, and 3. What do you think, Tristan?
There's 4 rods though, right?
There's 3 rods, 4 plates.
3 rods and 4.
So you're on the right track. All you got to do, you're.
Oh, I think.
Oh, move 4 to the third plate.
Okay, so 4 to pull 3. All right. So now.
And then you move 1. Move 1 to the first rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Move that
1, 2, pull 1, which that. Okay.
No, that's wrong. No.
Okay. So where do you move the number 1 to?
You move 1 onto the top of the third rod, which now has 4.
Okay, so you move 1 to pull 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And then move 2 to the first rod that now has nothing on it.
Pull 1.
Okay, and then you move. Okay, and then you move 1. Okay, got it. Then you move 1, which is on the third pole, on top of 2, which is on the first pole.
Okay.
And then you move the 3, which is in the middle, onto the third pole, which has number 4.
Okay.
Then you move 1 into the middle, which has nothing.
All right.
And then you move the 2 onto the third pole, which now has 3 and 4 and 2.
All right.
And then you move the 1 in the middle back onto the third pole, which has.
All right.
With equal.
All right. And as you take the small plate, and you place it onto that third pole, you see the lantern turn from a red flame to a blue flame as the door lifts up and the fire blocking your exit dissipates. And the door rises up into the ceiling, and you are able to see a small chest at the end of the way there.
Nice job, Tristan.
That's teamwork right there. Couldn't have done it without that.
Ooh. After you, and Char gestures for him to lead the way to the chest.
Sure thing.
Char also follows.
Anore is right behind them.
As is Korak.
All right. And so now you're standing in front of this simple chest that's sitting behind, just sitting at the end of this room.
I poke the chest with my battleaxe.
Okay. Are you trying to investigate it, or are you just poking it?
Basically poking in case the mimic.
Okay, so roll for investigation. As far as you are able to tell, it is not a mimic.
I go to open the chest normally.
Okay, and you are able to open the chest without any problems. And you reach in and you pull out a elderwood bracelet.
Oh.
Okay, and I will put the stats for that in the chat.
Does Anore still have her detect magic up?
Let's see how long that lasts.
I don't know how long it's been.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, how long has it been?
Just like a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, she definitely still has it up.
So you're able to tell that it has magical properties.
Oh.
Just so you know, that piece of equipment does have a little bit of a spark to it.
Interesting. And we're back to being unable to identify exactly what.
You see that it is a bracelet. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and take off this. There we go.
I put it in my pocket, not risking just putting it on for no reason yet.
Okay. And Kikolas says, nope, that's not it. That's not the right thing. I wonder where the pen could be.
Miss Anore, do you see any magic on Kikolas Nage?
She'd look to him.
And you see that he is brimming all over the place. Like his whole body is just kind of brimming with magical energy of all sorts of varieties.
I see so much magic on him. I don't know. Maybe we search him a little if you need.
I will take interest to that. Well, I suppose we will continue following you, Mr. Nage.
Okay. And I think this would be a relatively good spot to stop, because there is a lot more of this cavern to uncover, and we are 3.5 hours in.
Ooh.
So,
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm good to just head off now.
Yes.
Yep. So at this point, you guys are able to take a short rest, and we will call it good for now. And
Take a what?
I'm
Sorry,
going
I
to
didn't
stop
hear
the
that.
stream right here. So those of you that came to watch, thank you for watching.